Warning. The following contains material that may be too disturbing to some people. Descriptions of violence, mature situations, and adult themes. This is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. All right. We are live with Broken, episode 7. How?
And the title's right.
It is. It is right. I changed it. It's like almost like I know what I'm doing. A little bit. Kind of. Sometimes.
Just slightly.
Almost.
So, hope you guys have all had a good week. Does anybody got any cool stories? You guys do anything interesting this week? Besides not sleep
I'm
like
burnt
me?
to hell
What?
this weekend. We went up to Branson, and there was this little, like, nature safari park thing called Top of the Rock, and it's $40-$50 a person, but it's totally worth it, because part of it is you get to take this tour on golf carts.
Yeah.
And I didn't pack any sunscreen. We spent 2 hours on the freaking golf cart.
Oh, okay.
It
so you
was
got
worth
burned.
it, though. Oh, yeah.
God.
Well.
I'm still pink.
Well.
Oh God.
Hope you had fun.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like.
Sunday, not so much, but Saturday, definitely.
They've got a really cool, like, butterfly house, too.
Yes.
Right on.
And now
Speaking
they
of.
have a...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, now they have a place to replace a Playtime Pizza, but it's called Pizza Ranch.
Well, that's a perfect name because that's what you eat with your pizza is ranch. If you
In
don't,
the Midwest, anyway.
if you don't do that, don't talk to me. We're not friends.
I do that all the time. The best time is with cold pizza. You cannot convince me otherwise.
Wait, what'd you say? Was that
So
last?
that's the best kind of pizza.
Okay, I thought you said something about pineapple on pizza. I was about to be.
I also eat the shit out of that too.
Okay.
Oh my god, my dad freaking loves
Your
Hawaiian
character is
pizza.
dead now. You have a heart attack and die.
Well,
Does his
You
pinky nail get popped off again?
in your finger and die.
Again.
How do we feel about anchovies on pizza, though?
Ew.
Literally never had it, but I would try it.
I don't like fish.
Yeah, I've never had it.
Oh,
And
man.
what on
Like,
pizza?
do you like Caesar salad?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
The primary component of Caesar salad dressing
Is anchovies, yep.
Yep,
Really?
but I'm still not going to think about that when I eat a salad.
I mean, hey, try an anchovy pizza. They're pretty badass.
Maybe I'll have to do
I
that.
don't think... Well, I know
Anchovy and pineapple pizza.
No.
Get out.
The pineapples can stay home.
Listen, I'll just stick with my regular ass pizzas. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I just
Space
feel like
Gerblin
meat
says.
lovers over here in the corner.
Space Gerblin says pineapple on pizza isn't bad, but I don't think I'd be down with anchovies. Oh, is that Wolfy? Oh, yeah. Okay.
No.
It's not
No,
Wolfy.
he was going absolutely not.
Oh,
Wolfy.
he's talking to Wolfy. Okay.
What did Wolfie say he wanted on his pizza?
He said anchovy and pineapple.
And pineapple.
Yeah, I said, yeah. I was joking and said that, yeah.
That is the quickest way to meet God.
If by that you mean somebody murdering you.
Most likely. Zach, where'd you go?
I'm fixing something with my avatar real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, like, your camera is
Noah's in your
mixing with
spot right
Naela's
now.
camera.
Was it? I didn't see.
Yeah,
It's
it's like,
because I think he is
Okay, there
not
we go.
streaming
Yeah,
right
yeah,
at the
when
moment.
you-
I think it'll fix
I
as soon as
fixed.
he's back.
Oh, I see what you're saying. My bad. Let me see if I can fix that.
now it's
Oh,
mixing
no,
with-
right, yeah, because last time we had Naela have to go.
Yeah, I had to recrop them. So Dank still looks perfect but Zack's
Always.
So let me just go into Zack Cam here and fix that. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I should have seen that. Well, while I'm fixing Zach's camera, why don't you guys catch the viewers up on what happened last week?
Yeah. Lots of death.
So we went to our first assignment to pick up the taxes and the blue fungus from one of the tribes. On our way there, we noticed that we were being like observed by a group of people chilling out on like a pile of trash, essentially. So we tried to get the drop on them. We snuck up on them and everything, and we were gonna murder them. Like I was, at least, because I don't like people following me and observing my actions without my permission. Like that's weird, man. I don't like stalkers.
Yeah, they
I
were.
think we were all considering it.
You
Yeah.
literally heard
Oh.
them talking about planning on stalking you. Like
Oh,
follow
gosh,
them
see
and
which
see
way
what
they
you-
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
They might.
So yeah, we
It was like, hold up.
we climbed up the trash pile. We were gonna jump them, and Naela's like, "No, we're gonna talk to them." So she went down and talked to the two people there. It was kind of tense at first. They had spears and everything, but we ended up de-escalating. Well, Naela de-escalated things and got some drugs. And we peeped
And
where they
Naela
kept their
couldn't be
stuff.
happier.
Yeah.
We peeped where they kept their stuff stashed at, and I was at least planning on maybe robbing them later.
Yeah.
Potentially.
No.
Potentially.
No.
Definitely.
Potentially.
And
And then we went on our merry way and encountered a what was the thing called?
Asapu?
It was
Asapu.
the
Yeah, there was an asapu in the corridor we were going through, and there was like writing on the wall saying that the shadow was close by, and then we saw the asapu, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's the thing! Let's kill it!" And I'm like, "No, maybe not." And then we looked into what the thing actually was, and apparently the asapu have like some kind of symbiotic relationship with people in Nibiru.
I mean, not symbiotic. It is still a parasite. It just doesn't immediately kill you.
To a degree, like if the host body survives, they end up better suited to the environment.
Well, yes, but it's not you then.
they lose a huge amount of their intelligence. They can't communicate. I mean, it's
Even once
debatable.
the asapu leaves.
You know.
Essentially, the asapu uses the host body as like a chrysalis to metamorphosize,
Yeah.
which is cool. And like, it's not like they're done intently with the purpose that I'm going to fucking kill my host body.
Yeah. I think we learned that there was like a study done to try to figure out how exactly it worked, like who was in control kind of thing, and the results were kept secret or something like that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Dank came to the conclusion that somebody was like ripping these things off their host body and maybe like harvesting them, and that's why nobody in the other corridor came back alive, because there's probably a research facility or something over there. Anyway, we put that on the back burner for later and continued on down the corridor until we reached where that tribe was supposed to be stationed at. Upon arriving there, we saw like a generator and tinkered with that a bit. Thought about maybe either fixing it or scrapping it for parts. Also put that on the back burner. And examined some of the buildings where we found a like blood trail. And it turns out that everybody there had been shot to death with a death spitter. Apparently, whoever killed all these people did not take their stash of food. So we ended up finding that. Oh, yeah, it was like a huge pile of corpses. It was insane.
Yep.
I found my gun.
You found
Didn't
your-
have any bullets.
Yep.
But still found it, so that was awesome.
You also
And,
found a little bit of drugs in that compartment.
Yes, we found some crotch.
But we
Yeah.
haven't told Naela yet.
We have not told Naela yet. And that's kind of where we left off. We were deciding if we were going to take the storage of food back to the outpost to complete that part of the mission. That way we'd have more room and wouldn't be traveling super heavy when going to the second outpost. Or if we were just going to continue onwards.
Right.
And yeah, that gets us all caught up to now.
All right. Well, so you guys have found the 1,000 pounds. I think it was, or was it like 1 ton? I think it's 1 ton, so it's like
Yeah,
2,000
it was
pounds.
Yeah,
One
1
ton.
ton.
Yeah.
So 2,000 pounds of
1 ton.
stored fungus in their like storage compartment. What do you guys want to do? Oh yeah, there was also a DDM machine here that you guys were wanting to take. That's
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a couple of things that we were planning on taking.
And
just
a hob.
Yes.
We were half considering the propagator thing too.
I think we were just going to take everything of use and then head back.
Loot
That would be-
everything!
Well, to be fair, we should.
That's the only correct answer.
To
okay.
be fair, we shouldn't
So do
take
you guys?
too
Here's
much
my
and get
question to you
ourselves in
guys:
trouble.
Are you taking everything to the point where like this place isn't salvageable? Like,
No.
are you?
Because this is going to end up being like a forward base. This is going to get like refurbished and everything.
Okay.
But
So,
we're going to take enough to make sure that we're sitting flush when we get back home.
okay. So are you taking like their refrigeration unit, for example?
I don't see why we would need that, honestly.
Yeah, like it wouldn't be necessary at this point. Like the burner, the DDM machine, maybe some additional furniture, but like no critical parts of like the infrastructure of this place.
Oh yeah, the burner was that like portable cooking.
Yeah, it was like a portable
Yeah,
stove.
I mean, assumedly they have some other way to cook as well, so it's probably not like it'd be nice to have that for us at least, is the thing.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so we're not going to cripple this place by looting it to death, but we are going to take a lot of things that we're going to need.
Okay.
We're gonna stock up on our essentials.
Yeah.
Gotta look out for number one.
You guys do find you would scrounge in the place, find like somebody roll me 2d4. Who wants to roll it?
Oh, I'll roll it.
My God.
Good, I feel bad luck.
First
Dun,
one.
dun, dun.
All right, you find 5 batteries, spare batteries that you could use for a multitude of devices. However, they don't have any power. You could take some time to charge them while you're like putting stuff together if you want. There is like a charger here. It's like fixed into the wall of the shelter. Power is
Yeah, I
low.
will definitely start charging those.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have anything on you currently that uses batteries, but
Lantern?
does it? I thought it used like a powder, like a sea heat.
Yeah, use like a powder.
Oh, I mean not the lantern, the flashlight.
Oh yeah, flashlight for sure. Yeah. Here's Naela probably would know. There's a lot of other things that can use batteries too. Cameras, communication devices, all kinds of things. All right. So we got our burner. We're gonna take the DDM machine and a ton of fungi.
Why don't we look around and see, have Naela help us and see which of the ones that are still growing are viable to pick too?
It's a good idea.
Because then, since it's extra, Naela could use it for a trade for some more garage.
Fair enough. Could always use more of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can never have too
drugs.
many drugs.
You
Um,
damn right.
Is anybody gonna tell Naela that we found drugs?
Hey,
I'm gonna tell
Naela!
her. I'm gonna tell her, yeah.
All right.
So I'll pretty much like show her the box, like, yeah, no. Under that pile of corpses, there was a loose floorboard. Pried it up, found a handgun, and this. And I open the box up and show her the stash.
She takes the stash and then she sniffs it.
Checking for quality. Okay, nothing wrong with that.
All right.
God.
I don't think you need to make a roll. I mean, it's not like the best quality, but it'll do its thing. It's definitely crush.
It'll do. It's great.
It's probably
Thank
about
you.
it's probably about the same as what you got from the squatters.
Okay.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, this isn't like Naela, you definitely would know this. This isn't like your injector style crush. Like, you know, you're not gonna put this into an injector machine and just like shoot it into your arm. Like, you're gonna have to smoke this stuff probably, or you could mix it. You could probably mix it into a tea or something. You know, it takes some time to like cook it up. You'd probably have to like bring it to a boil, that kind of stuff.
A couple of grams of mid.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But yeah, the sort of like tea, you know, has a little bit different of effect. It's not as like, you know, it's not as like,
Potent.
yeah,
Punchy.
it'll last longer, but you don't get that fun effect that you like, you know, not as much. You just feel kind of like, whenever you drink the tea, you just feel kind of like relaxed and stuff. You don't get the vivid hallucinations going on. I mean, I guess it depends on how much you'd have to drink a lot. You'd have to drink a whole lot, more than this, certainly.
Well, we know what Naela's not doing.
Okay, question. When do we need to consume more of that?
Yeah.
Soon.
As soon as possible.
Yeah. So you
Cool.
guys,
If you like it, personally, I would probably rather the tea.
Yeah.
Same.
it's been a few lapses since you guys all got injected, right? Like, how many days has it been? Like,
Yeah.
2?
3, 4.
I think 2. I think 2-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the majority of you guys are probably not feeling great. You know, like some of you, I think I've described it last time you guys tried to sleep. Some of you were waking up with headaches and stuff like that. The headaches do come and go. They're getting worse by the day. You haven't gotten to a point where it's debilitating yet, but another day or two, you might, if you keep getting worse, you might start seeing some negative effects from it. I would say within a week, you're going to definitely need something. You're going to be in trouble. So I'll let you guys decide what to do with that.
Cassidy's gonna look at Naela and go, "Is this enough for you to have some and to share with Ernest?"
Yes, and I also have some extra on me for the rest of you. That's part of the reason why I gave my food up for this.
You can have some of mine on this trip. This is way more than enough than what I'll eat.
That's appreciated.
I
So,
guess we'll work on
should
getting
we
the liquid.
use it now or wait until like the last possible minute?
Why don't we get this haul back first before we decide to trip?
Well, if you use it in a tea, you're less likely to trip.
But
You could
how
always
long
wait
will
till
that
it's like
take trip?
tonight to do it.
If you guys are ready to go, we can go.
We need to pack this shit up first. And then, can you tell if any of the blue mushrooms in the fields are ready to go?
You can definitely make a roll if you want to check that out.
Yes.
Do you have something that would apply here?
Dun, 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 dun,
This would
dun,
be a
dun.
botany, we'll say like a botany kind of roll. So like, I think survival might apply. If you got anything else you think might apply, I'll hear you out.
Let me see what all I have real quick.
Let me pull you guys over to the map here. We're gonna use let's see here. I think the last map we were on was a corridor, so we'll use this map for now. use this screen. This is kind of like a farmlands-ish area. We're sort of using this for the outpost too. It's fine. Okay. All right. So that's the success. So the crops growing, the fungus growing in their like fields area. It's not quite done yet. Just taking a look at it and inspecting it, probably at least 7 lapses or so, like a week, until it's like ready to be harvested.
This has until 7 more lapses before it's finished.
Well, I guess if we're not busy, then we could come out and, if they haven't sent people out here to, look for it already. But
Well, that's the plan. We're probably going to expand to this area. So it's a good idea to keep viable farmland here.
Does somebody want to make like a, I don't know, be like an intelligence check if this is D&D, but like, like investigation or like something that allows you to put 2 and 2 together? Just want to see if maybe this thing occurs to anybody. Nobody's said anything yet, so.
I do not have investigate type thing.
You can make a normal roll too if you like. And I suppose
Does anyone have anything to do with investigation or perception?
I
Yeah,
have.
I mean, I have
observation.
intuition, but it's more for people.
Don't you have attention to detail, though?
attention to detail.
I do. Would that count?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything that lets you like, anything that will let you like read a situation or. Okay.
I also have attention to detail.
Okay. All right.
Copycat.
I'm gonna use an influence point.
Okay. Okay, savvy,
There we go.
success. Okay. So, the Derrin. Let's start with Cassidy. Here's the thing. They had all the stuff that for the pickup was ready to go. It was all like ready for travel, like put in storage. So they weren't eating out of this, right? But all their blue fungus in the field is also not ready for harvest. So what were they eating? Derrin, you think of this also. It's like, okay, well, where is their food then? Like the food that they had on hand. The bodies, you took a look at them, right, Derrin?
Yes.
They weren't scrawny. They looked pretty well fed. They weren't like overweight by any means, but they were like they were fit. Fit for Umbrag people. They were small and stocky like Naela, but
right.
they were packing muscle. They didn't appear to be starving.
Roll for cannibalism.
Do you think they may have had a secret farm area?
Possible.
Are there any animals here that are edible?
Yes. Naela, you would know that.
That would be easy to keep hidden or something.
Naela, you'd certainly know that there's always fishing if you're desperate. It's a little risky because there's predators and stuff. It doesn't taste great. You kind of have to eat a lot more of it to gain sustenance.
Yeah, so that's probably not it.
I'm going to create a memory for perception and roll to see if I can find anything.
Except not roll.
Pretty much, yeah.
You make a memory, it's an auto.
Yeah, like I've got so many memory points after finding the gun, so perception would be a useful skill to have.
Okay.
Yeah. I wonder
Uh,
if they have like a secret basement of some sort.
yeah, like either a basement or like a cellar, like somewhere where they're hiding additional food or resources that they could have been living off of since they clearly weren't really eating the fungus.
Mhm.
They had to have some higher protein diet. Maybe they had like a secret area of livestock or some other kind of food source.
Right. So we're
Maybe
basically
they were
looking for
going
any like
hunting
hidden
to get
stuff
caught.
around the settlement itself.
Yeah.
Just kind of
Memory.
narrow the thing of what we might find.
Yeah. I've got the memory already writ up.
Sure, go for it.
Alright. I remember following the traces, checking the signs, maneuvering through the city in search for my target. I followed the footprints and noted the signs of passage left behind without air, moving ever closer to reaching my quarry. No stone left unturned, with my 9mm in my grasp as I closed the distance.
Okay, awesome. So, it gives you an automatic success. Now you're you said you're rolling. You would be like a perception skill.
Yeah.
What? You're just like checking the whole area. Like, is there anything out of place? Is there anything I can find?
Yeah, like any like marks of passage, stuff like that, that people were using some sort of ingress and egress to reach an area where they'd have more resources.
Yeah.
Yeah, signs of wear and tear where they really shouldn't be if people are using things normally.
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing you do notice is like the storage. There's like a storage area in the house where you would keep food. There's no food in there, but you probably pick up. Maybe you like shine the lantern over that area, and like in the cupboard, and there's like residue of blue fungus that lights up in response to the light from the lantern. It's kind of like almost like a black light kind of. You're like picking up like organic material kind of.
Okay.
And so you find some of that like smeared around the cupboard, almost like there was food in there, but it was like taken out recently, sloppily. Like if it was in a storage container, maybe the storage thing was torn open, but you don't see like residue of any storage container around. It is so there's a little bit of that. And you're looking for like a trail. You're like looking around the house. You don't really see a trail in the shelter. So at some point you walk outside, and leading off towards the other end of the vault, opposite from the direction you came in. So probably off towards the like that generator, and that exit corridor that will lead to along the main corridor path towards the next farm. I think maybe there's like a place where there's like wet dirt, and you find you spot one of the first one's clear as day. You spot a human footprint, barefoot. And then it's heading off that direction. So I think you start walking a little bit further ahead, and most of the platform is just metal. So like there's not really any like prints on the metal, but then there's like another spot where there's like some dirt residue, some dust, just detritus. You see like another footprint, and then you spot a few more, and you're yeah, that's basically it. You pick up some footprints that lead off towards the like where you would be going next, basically. Bare feet, which is odd because all the bodies were wearing boots.
So somebody escaped.
Or you said it's the footprints lead off to where we're going next. You mean they lead off towards the next settlement?
Yeah, the Karam farm area.
Or these guys stole from that farm for their like food needs, and then they came over and killed them and tried to take it back. So they didn't actually care about the like 1 ton that was here. They just wanted their own shit back so they could give taxes.
Either that or they didn't find it. Because, I mean, why kill everyone and not heavily search the place?
Because they already found what they knew was there.
I guess.
Or what if it wasn't about the food?
Well, either way, we'll find out once we head there.
Do we want to take this and...
I mean, yeah, we're taking everything back. I think that's decided
Yeah, I
first.
mean, these tracks are at least a couple of lapses old anyway.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
They're
they
not.
were killed a couple of days ago.
Yeah, the tracks. Well, you could roll again to try to figure out how recent the tracks are, I suppose.
Yeah, sure.
I can help if you want to add a dice there.
Absolutely. Any kind of perception, investigation, tracking, anything like that would apply here.
if more than
Critical
one person...
success.
Oh,
Rule of
Damn,
threes. Good stuff.
There we
So,
go.
you get a flashback to tracking something, probably. Instant memory written when you get that.
Okay.
So it give you a +1 to, you can say it's tracking, or like if you want to just have it flavored a different way, in case it might be useful in a different way, or however you want to flavor it. Do you know what the memory would be?
Not quite as I wasn't expecting to roll a 3.
Yeah, I know. I feel
Yeah,
like this would be one that doesn't necessarily have to involve your gun. I suppose it could, but I think with the rule of threes, I kind of want to leave it more like up to you how this memory this memory comes. But that's fine. You can write the memory later.
Okay.
Here's the thing: the tracks are actually relatively recent. I would say within the last lapse or so. They're definitely fresher than whatever happened in the house. Also, there's more than one set. There's different sizes. And with a critical success, I'm going to say you can get a very good feel for height, weight of these people. There's probably 4 or 5 of them. At least 2 or 3 of them are large male footprints. One is, I mean, probably about Naela's size. Definitely smaller foot, most likely feminine. And the last one is also a female, probably a bit older than Naela would be. A little bit heavier. At no point along the set of tracks that you don't find any blood. You don't find any like weapon casings or like residue or anything like trash that was left behind following their trail. They seem to be moving very quickly. Like in places they sprint, and then like in areas where the light is dimmer, they seem to like almost stop and sort of wait. And then but like looking over the area they ran, just like here inside this vault. It seems like they were running from shadow to shadow, kind of. But they were sprinting very fast.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the asapu demons.
Demons.
oh God.
You probably would find a bit more of that blue fungus residue, I would say.
Okay.
Like somewhere near the tracks. It seems to lead off in the same direction.
Huh. Well, I haven't got a clue.
So
Well, it looks like, yeah, these people were definitely robbed, but they didn't get the main food source. Either that or somebody grabbed some stuff and left in a hurry.
I wonder if they were looking for like a specific thing.
They might have been looking for a very specific thing, and that's why they didn't go after the rest of the food, and there might have just happened to be some of the blue fungus there, and they grabbed that too.
They just got what they needed and left.
How
I mean, can
was-
I describe the asapu that we saw and see if it matches any of those prints?
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. So basically, the asapu you saw, I do have a proper background removed image now. Let me see if I can pull that up. Looks something like this. Let me do this here. Enlarge it if I can. Here we go. So, human, naked, barefoot, giant cricket parasite on their back, with part of it
Right.
extending to cover their head, with all these like mandibles over their mouths, and the three eyes on each side of the head, a little bit wider apart than like human eyes would be, and that sort of like exposed brain section, the protruding like antenna. Yeah, I think describing this, like, the foot patterns make sense because they're barefoot, right?
Right.
And it certainly liked the dark.
It did.
There was
Okay.
one in front of us.
So it could have been a group of asapu who came and got the materials.
Yeah, maybe just they were hungry and kind
It was there.
of saw
and
food
everyone
and
was-
left. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe the other tribe is sheltering a group of asapu.
Or maybe they're all asapu now.
That's also.
I kind of doubt it. Aren't these things supposed to be really rare?
I mean, even with rare things, if you form a breeding colony somewhere.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Right. Again, we'll put a pin in that and come back to it after we deliver this 1 ton.
All right.
Yeah, we'll have to find out at some point.
We have to find out all these things.
Well, definitely gives us more stuff to look forward to and to do. So we've got some serious direction that we could take now.
So the plan is to like get everything together, and grab the DDM machine and stuff. Take all
Yeah,
that
grab
stuff
all the
back,
important shit.
and take it all back to base camp, Point Moriah. That's what it was called, right? Point
Yeah.
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 And yeah, you guys can do that. I don't think we need to like play through that unless you guys just want to. If there's something you want to stop and RP along the way, probably takes you like, I don't know, maybe like between investigating the area and all that stuff, maybe a couple hours. Get everything packed up and on the leapers. Yeah, and then you guys head back, and it's like another hour and a half back to Point Moriah. Drop the stuff off with Shalim, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Drop the stuff off and let them know what happened here.
Yeah. He thanks you for making your first half of the delivery. Definitely is concerned over what's happened at the Mudabi farm. He probably would tell you that he'll try to think of something to keep that going, because the Karam clan needs those power lines maintained if they're going to get power to their farm. So somebody...
Well, we could tell them about the generator and the batteries that we got.
Yeah.
Yeah. He probably says something along the lines of he'll start looking for people to take over there and keep maintaining the generator, but he's not sure exactly who it would be. That being said, you guys did recently meet some folks who might be a little bit homeless and really could use some blue fungus.
I was about to say, as we're going back, I don't know if we'd want to like scrounge together whatever food we're not going to need and sell it for more drugs.
Or we could say we'll put in a good word for them to go to that area in exchange.
Now, yeah. Like, keep in mind, you guys had 3 servings, 3 days worth of food each. Naela traded all of hers away. You guys picked up the first half of the delivery, that's food, but you just handed it over to Shalim, so you don't really have any other food available to you right now.
Except for the rest of our rations. I
Yeah.
mean, like, I don't think this is going to take us 3 days to complete. So
Yeah,
technically,
Yeah, you guys have
we've
also
got
got like
spare.
you've also got like a small crop of blue fungus growing in your little shack, right? Like, that is growing. It's going to take some time, but you might have a small food source there at least.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, it's up to you guys. You guys can do what you want to do, but I am basically cautioning you against trading off the last of your food. It's probably not a great idea.
We all were given 100 credits each, before we even started the mission. We could buy up
True.
additional supplies.
True.
Yeah. Since they're back, Cassidy is going to look and ask around for tools.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think you could probably find somebody who might have some equipment used, mostly used stuff. What are you looking for?
Like screwdrivers, pliers, probably, I don't remember the name of it. Looks almost like an Allen wrench, but it has a little thing on it to tell you how big something is.
Okay.
Basically like an engineer's work kit.
Like a socket wrench kind of thing.
Kind of. It's one of those ones where it looks like, I don't want to call it a monkey wrench because that's not what it's called. But it has like the 2 things, and you can adjust it, and it has an actual computer, like a little mini computer in it, and it can go down to like it's 0.002 of a millimeter.
Caliper? Not caliper.
God,
What is that called?
It's a caliper, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, obviously she doesn't expect to find a capillator, but
Okay.
like basic engineering stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, a caliper is a basic thing. Like,
Yeah.
they've had those
Yeah,
since
it's just if you
medieval
put a
times.
computer in it, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they do have like basic ones that she would expect to find, but she's not expecting like the $100 ones that you can get with the computer and shit.
Yeah. So you could probably get like, I don't know, like a decent set of sort of basic tools. None of them are machine operated. They're all like, you can find like a handheld caliper. It's got like a little pressure gauge on it.
Okay.
But it's not like, it doesn't have any machinery. Like the pressure gauge is basically like, let me take a look at the one I'm looking at here. It seems like it's for like force of whatever's like pushing back on what's in the middle, I guess. What's in the middle of
No, that's supposed to read
PSI.
what the actual.
What is it?
It's supposed to read what the
That's
actual
it.
measurement is.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you're
Okay.
thinking of the caliper with a
Yeah.
micrometer.
Okay.
Museum tire pressure reader.
Yeah.
So, like,
If you look up like a stalwart dial caliper, something like that. But it's worn. It's worn and dirty, but it'll function. It just might be like a little
Yeah.
irritating at times. You'd probably find the equivalent to like a few different sizes of wrenches to go along with it. Something that would serve as like a screwdriver, like a pry bar kind of stuff. Maybe even like a wire stripper. That
Maybe
kind
a
of
cutter
thing.
or two, she can get her hands on it.
Yeah. Like the thing is, like, I don't think that there would there would really be like Phillips head, and there might be like a basic flat head kind of like screw. But I don't know if there's like Phillips head and stuff like that here in Nibiru. So the measurements might be a little bit different than what we're used to. The shapes of the bolts might be a little bit different than what we're used to. But you find a few different things that you can use for that. You also find like a vise, like a set of pliers that can double as like a vise that you can lock, that kind of thing. You can add like it's probably going to cost you like, I would say at least 50 credits. I feel like I'm being a little bit generous there. But you could add like a set of basic engineer's tools to your inventory if you want to pick it up, and then like like you can even write in all the different tools that are there if you want to, and maybe like if you have an idea for something else that should be in there that I didn't think of, we can talk about that. You can put it in there too.
While she's doing that,
that's if you want to pick
probably
it up.
Need how many would you say probably need a lot of TLC to get back in working order?
No, I think everything's pretty much in working order. It's just that it's all like dirty and kind of worn.
yeah. So it's not like brand new; it's clearly used.
Yeah. And there might be like some parts of it that are slightly broken, but it's like still functional, you know? Like the end of the wrench was broken off by some like heavy force, but like the wrench is still usable. It's just that it might like dig into your hand a little while you use it. You know what I mean? It's not going to hurt you, but it's just like not the best wrench. Like you probably get something a little bit better. But that's fine. It's functional. We don't need like, shiny brand new tools. We just need them to work.
All right. Can she try to haggle them for like some kind of oil or something to take care of them with?
Sure. Do you want to make a roll?
Or
Do you
is
want
it
help with that
totally
roll?
normal? That'd be great.
Yeah. You can
I don't have anything for that.
You can add a die for the help. Or you can have him make the roll for you, right? Like this is an opportunity for Derrin to cut in and be like, hey, since you're giving her these used tools, you should definitely give her something to repair them or like keep them in
Maintain them.
Yeah, keep them in working condition, kind of thing.
But your
right.
However you guys
your
wanna
modifier
decide.
is probably better than mine.
Oh God, what do I have? Nonverbal communication, intuition.
This be a good opportunity to write a memory for like bartering.
Fast talking. I think I have +3 already.
I think fast talking would apply.
Damn.
Fast talking, I think would apply.
There we go.
Okay. Did you roll it?
No, not yet. I'm still.
Okay, they're
I've got so many windows.
They were cheering. I was like, oh, did he roll it? And I just don't see. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You wanna, like, make it for like bartering or
Holy
something?
shit.
So
That's what I'm
in a
talking
row.
about.
yeah, same situation as with Dank earlier. You get to get a positive memory here. If you've already got a +3 to fast talking, I'll let you write a positive memory for like bartering or for something similar.
Yeah. Well, I was using a couple of the other ones as well, so technically I only have a +1 on fast talking.
Oh, okay. All right, that'd be fine. Yeah, if you want to just add it to fast talking. Do you have any idea what the
I'll
memory
probably
would be?
branch out a little. I'd probably something
Persuasion?
along the lines of discussing with the client that I was selling a painting to, a masterpiece. Hey, you should pay me a little bit more. The finder's fee is a little bit comes out of my pocket too.
Maybe salesmanship?
Mercantile.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm gonna throw in a little bit of flavor here, so like you're having this conversation where you're bartering with this guy, and you're like trying to sell him the artwork or vice versa, and then like you catch your reflection in a mirror. Like you're in this room having a conversation. You turn and you catch your reflection in like a reflective surface. Maybe it's a glass sitting on the counter, or it's like the glass over a painting in the room, and you just catch a reflection of yourself, and the reflection shifts. It kind of like glitches, and your face changes to another face. Your clothes change to different clothes, and then the memory's over. Like you don't get any more information about what that was, what just happened, or any of that stuff.
Okay.
Just a little flavor there. But yeah. So you get the positive memory. Okay. So yeah, you get the discount. You basically, critical success. You talk him into throwing a few things in for free since she's paying 50 credits for a used set of tools. And the guy's like, "Oh, I'm already giving you, a discount because they're used or whatever." But then you kind of like start to berate him. You're like, "Oh, we're working for Shalim, and we can spread like bad reputation about you in town, and if we could be repeat customers, and we could bring you more business, whatever." And you goad him into being like, fine, I'll give you some oil. I'll even include like a small welder's tool. You talk him into including that, like a small little handheld device that runs on a battery, that can basically be used as like a torch, like a welding torch, a small welding torch. You could also use it for other things too, if you wanted to like burn somebody up close, maybe improvise surgery, that kind of thing.
Improvised torture.
Yeah. You get like it, yeah. And maybe even like a small amount of like soldering metal, so like soldering wire or whatever that you could use.
Is any torture actually improvised torture? I think it's all just torture.
Yeah. I mean, if you had to like cauterize a wound or something, it could be useful for that as well.
Cool, and I just so happen to have batteries.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think there's probably like a small amount, like the battery's mostly for the sparks, so battery's gonna last a long time in this device. There's probably a small amount of fuel that's required to like maintain the flame or whatever when you turn the torch on. It comes fully filled, and he probably gives you like a spare like filler. Like I'm imagining like a butane torch lighter, with just like it's full of butane or whatever, lighter fluid, and you get like a small container with some extra fluid that you talk him into.
I don't suppose we could put like a mushroom in there and use it as fuel.
I mean, yeah, you know what? We could
Just
say
like how could we like refill this later when we're out and and we're wondering?
Here's what we could do. We could say it runs off the same was it sea keep powder that the lanterns do?
That makes some sense, yeah.
And what's his face gave you spare powder, if I recall, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe he just gives you some extra of that powder. I mean, I think right now you guys probably have enough of it to last you for a while. I don't think you're in any danger of running out soon.
Okay, so one of those worry about it later things.
Yeah, like we'll get a proper like amount on it kind of thing later. But you've easily got enough to run those lanterns for at least 3 days straight, probably. 3 lapses, I'm sorry.
All right, Ramblers, let's get rambling.
Cassie is very happy with her haul, and she like gives Derrin like a huge hug. So thank you.
Thanks, Kuja, for the follow. And Iriel? Thank you. Okay, sorry, continue, guys.
Good. Okay. Yes. Thanks. Yes.
I think while they're doing all of that, I'd probably be talking to our sculptor merchant about maybe acquiring gunpowder.
Yeah, the sculptor. So you're like, hey, what do you say to him exactly? What is your method of?
Well, I'd approach him and be like, hey, we're back from the first half of our journey. I'd make like polite conversation. It's super rude to just talk to somebody when you need something from them.
Yeah. He's like, oh, how's the journey? He's like really interested in what you guys see. Anything interesting out there? I've heard that there's some kind of monster that runs the nearby corridors.
I think, I would tell this guy about the asapu that we saw.
Yeah, he kind of like is taken a little bit aback by it, and he says, around here? Ugh, that's dreadful. Well, you know what they say about asapu? If you see one, there's likely more of them.
Good to know.
Wait, I thought that was roaches. Oh wait, those don't exist here.
Yeah.
Same difference.
Brain roaches.
Yeah.
Space
Yeah.
Australia.
Oh god.
Literally, space Australia.
I was also thinking of mice.
Yeah. He says, he didn't run in. They didn't attack you, did they?
No, I mean, aren't they pretty much docile?
Well, unpredictable. Usually,
Yeah.
Well,
usually,
it did already have a human, so.
yeah. He says, they can be a little territorial, from what I've heard. I've never encountered one myself. I'm not sure what.
Damn, I've only heard stories until today.
Yeah, he nods. There was that odd play. I can't remember the details of it, but I think there was some kind of story written about. Well, some people say it was about them. Some people say it wasn't. Sorry, I wish I could offer more information. If you could,
That's all right.
if you could tell me exactly what it looked like, though, and I would love to maybe get some inspiration for my next project.
Yeah, I would go into like great detail describing it, like how, it sort of like melded with the human form in a way that seemed natural, but yet unnatural at the same time.
He's getting a
Describing
second
like,
generation description since you never actually saw it.
well, I mean, I did see
No, you didn't.
it, didn't I?
No, you
Yeah,
were back to
planning
Bing.
use it.
Fair enough, yeah. No, wait, didn't I see him in the flashback that I had when tracking?
Well, probably not in asapu. No, I think your flashback.
No, yeah, I think that
Okay.
goes back to your, on Earth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
so I would just like explain everything that was explained to me about how it looked.
Yeah. He's like, oh, and
I'd let him know that it's like a second-hand thing and I didn't see it personally, but my group encountered it. And if I get more details, I'll come back and tell him the rest of those later.
Yeah. He might say something along the lines of, well, when you get done with the rest of your job, definitely have your friend stop by. I'd love to get a detailed description of these things. Maybe some sketches.
For sure, yeah.
Oh god, fuck, I'm an artist. I forgot that.
I was about to
Look
say,
at ya!
I was about to say, if somebody could probably describe it really well to Cassidy, she could probably do a sketch or something too.
Yeah.
I've literally forged masterpieces.
Yeah, no, I'm not built for drawing, thank you.
I have absolutely nothing that gives me plus art. Why? Why did I choose this?
Yeah, so I mean, he's definitely interested. So how do you work in the stuff about the gunpowder and the?
Well, I'll show him the firearm.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yeah, I found the thing I was looking for. The problem is, it's not like a normal death spitter. Its method of, getting the projectile from point A to point B involves essentially explosions on a small scale.
Yeah, he kind of furrows his brow and he says, "Huh, that sounds primitive."
To a degree, but it's also really effective. The problem is, I need to find the material to make the explosives in proper ratio. I'd use the term like black powder, because that would be something they'd probably have heard of. Like, I don't think guns and gunpowder would really be the right terms to use in this scenario.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, you say black powder, he kind of like wrinkles his forehead. He says, "Well, I've heard of explosive devices, bombs fashioned out of old water pipes, that sort of
Yeah,
thing."
it would use the same sort of combustion material.
I don't. How does it work exactly? Do you mind if I take a look?
Yeah, sure. I would disassemble the gun in front of them and kind of just like point out which each piece does Like, you know, how the hammer works, how cocking the gun works, how the magazine slides in and out, how you're supposed to load bullets into it.
If
I
Cassidy
think
like
I'd just
thinks he's
strip
me
it and
doing that,
clean it
he's
in
over
front of
there
him.
watching him as well.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, he's looking at it. He's like listening to you and stuff. You can tell that like when you're getting to more like technical aspects of it, some of it's a little bit over his head. Like,
I would definitely dumb it down and use layman terms to make it more understandable, because like when you really think about it, guns aren't super complicated.
yeah, he says, so there's like an explosion back here, and that pushes the projectile forward through this barrel. Yeah, he kind of like, huh. It reminds me of an old story I heard a long time ago about how it was probably it had to be at least hundreds of cycles. There was some issue with the Arcane army. They were trying to take over some territory. This is back before the Umbra. This is when they were first spreading into the Penumbra, I think. There was an enemy encampment that was at the end of this long tunnel, and they couldn't get them to basically join the Arku. They wanted to establish trade, and disagreements led to essentially war. At the end of this tunnel,
As they often do.
yeah. At the end of this tunnel on the Arku's end, they found a large. It was sort of a piece of metal with grooves on it. It was almost perfectly the size of the tunnel. They sort of used a team of hundreds of men to eventually move. I think they had to use livestock too, to be honest with you, to wedge and move this thing into place in the tunnel. And their response essentially was to line up many explosives behind it and to detonate them. This large object shorn through the tunnel, well, glid through it, really, he says, and it destroyed the settlement at the other end. Kind of like an explosion with pressure and a projectile, like what you're describing.
Sounds like a cannon, yeah.
Yeah, he says, I wish I knew more details of the story. Sorry I didn't really pay attention.
Oh no, every little bit helps. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, he wags a finger and he says, art is really more my thing, but I'd be willing to bet that there's someone in Nutaku who could find a way to work this for you. There's a lot more, well, technical things going on there. They still have remnants of some technology there. Unfortunately, here in the Sorrows, we've had to get rid of most of our things.
Oh yeah. Well, living in different areas comes with its different challenges. You wouldn't happen to know anybody in Otaku who I could maybe talk to when I do eventually get there?
Yeah, actually, I've got an old contact. It's been maybe a dozen cycles since we've spoke, but I can give you his information and at least a general whereabouts of where his shop is.
I would definitely appreciate that. I could even, give him a message for you when I do find him.
Yeah, he pulls out like a metal sheet, thin metal sheet, and he takes like a
Stylus.
yeah, it's like a sharp. It's more like a sharp piece of metal, and he sort of basically is like engraving, but like scratching into this like metal sheet. He draws like a description, basically like a circle. Like, this is Nataku. This is the entrance. This is the side of the entrance that you would come in from here. This is this is like generally where the Sorrows are. This is generally where the farmlands are, that kind of thing. Let's actually look at the map for a second, so I can kind of
Visualize.
yeah. Let's
Cool.
see here. Okay. So let me jump over here. So the brown The first circle on the left is where you guys started. Ish. The second circle on the right is kind of like where that first settlement was. That first farm. The Point Moriah is probably somewhere in the middle. So I'm gonna say it's probably actually somewhere around here. It's X here. Now, if we're looking at Nitaku, this big circle, there's like a large, what is it called? Like almost like a Ferris wheel generator in the center. He basically like gives you a mark, somewhere around here. So he's like, it's in this district. The shop looked something like this last time I saw it. And it goes by, this is the guy's name, which, let me generate a name for this guy.
Oh.
OWAB. OWAB. And
Okay.
OWAB, he used to supply Arku with explosives, weapons, that kind of thing. That was probably a generation ago. Since then, he's sort of swapped sides, and he basically tries to help people of the Umbras get weapons. And essentially, there's talk that he's like going to be arming them if a fight with the Arku breaks out between Nitaku and the Arku.
Okay.
And OAB knows where certain deposits are that are sort of spread throughout the Umbras. He could definitely get the supplies to make explosives, to make a powder that would be, provide this explosion that you need. And he also has some machinery. He designs death spitters, which actually, now that you mention it, they work sort of similarly. The death spitters, they don't use an explosion, but they use
magnets.
Yeah, like pieces of metal. That actually, the majority of them fire like very specific measured pieces of metal with like compressed air. Some of them do use magnets, but your more primitive ones use compressed air. And they basically have like magazines, kind of like the way that your pistol loads similar devices. So if he makes those things, he should surely be able to make what you're looking for.
Awesome.
Yeah. And he does mention that he's also got like energy weapons and knives, swords, that kind of thing.
Very nice. Well, I definitely appreciate the information.
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna, let's see here. Yeah, I think what time is it right now?
Like in real life or in the game?
In the game.
I think you guys, it's probably at least midday. Assuming you guys set off early in the lapse, it's been several hours, probably going on 5 or 6 hours minimum since you first left. So we're probably looking at midday, maybe getting close to evening.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna buy lunch here and call Derrin over, and we'll see about describing the asapu in more detail while we eat.
Yeah, okay. All right, Derrin. You get your lunch. It's like, what was the price I gave you guys last time? Like 5 credits for food?
5 credits, yeah.
Same price. Derrin, what do? Do you come over and make a sketch of an asapu for him?
I do.
All right. Do you want to make a roll?
Yes and no. I would feel horrible if I failed, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a +3 memory for artistry.
Damn.
Nice.
Okay, right on. There you go. Do you know what the memory is?
It's going to be a different take on one of my first memories, which was the my first like forgery. So this one's going to be like one of like my first masterpiece that I like forged.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So it's the memory is the process of you actually making it. Are you painting it by hand? Is that the thing? And you're like
Yes.
comparing it to the original, and then
Uh
like
huh.
okay, and you're like lining up the brush strokes, and like okay, it's got to go perfectly like this. All right. What
Well, to some degree.
is the forgery of like a famous painting?
Yeah.
Do you have anything in mind?
I mean, the one that I was going to sell in Las Vegas
Was the
was Starry Night,
Starry
so
Night. Yeah, Van Gogh, right?
yeah.
All right, I dig it. Yeah. So we get like a flashback to you, like basically painting an exact copy of Starry Night while looking at either the original or a photo of the copy or something. But basically, yeah, that's cool. I like it. All right. So yeah, you're gonna draw him a depiction of the asapu. Maybe it's the picture we have here on of our lovely asapu on the screen here.
Probably pretty similar.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like sketching it out on this metal sheet, like scratching it in. So it's a little bit different than what you're used to, but you're definitely able to like make a really good representation of it. You do find
I've had to use a lot of mediums to forge.
yeah. You do find that like the sheet's designed in such a way whereas like the harder you press down, the lighter when it cuts into the metal, the lighter it gets. So you're able to make some different shades, basically, just like by varying how hard you press down when you're like scratching it, essentially.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, you make a really good depiction of it. The sheets probably are people use for like documents and stuff like that are probably typically like either a stainless steel color or like a dark black metal. And yeah, that's sort of like what that stuff looks. It's usually like a glossy surface, typically, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, you do the thing. And he's like, "Wow, that's fascinating." You really captured the detail. You really impress him. He's almost to the point where he's like, I almost don't want to try to make a statue because your depiction of it looks so good. He says, well, if you'd want to sell this this fine piece of art you've made, I could certainly help you with that. I would love to have it in my shop.
Well, of course. And I mean, I would find it really interesting to have a statue made of this as well because I mean, I'm terrible at that portion. I can get 2D very well, but I've never been able to do the 3-dimensional stuff. So seeing that done would be really cool.
Yeah, he nods. I'll happily give it an attempt, but I'm just not sure that my talent can measure up.
Nothing wrong with taking steps to perfect your craft.
Yeah.
He nods.
And I mean, each piece just tells you more about the artist.
And he did a wonderful job with the
Pulse swing.
Yeah, the pulse swing.
pulse swing, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, so he's like, well, I'll start working on something. I'll let you know. Sometimes you just got to wait for the right inspiration. Yeah. Is there anything else you're wanting to get out of this? You definitely impressed this guy.
Not particularly. I'm happy with kind of building up some good faith.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit of money.
I'm gonna give both you and Dank an influence point. Just between like the figuring out the location of the gun guy and both like doing the drawing thing and negotiating a deal for Cassidy's tools. I feel like you probably deserve an influence point for that.
Awesome. And I'm actually going to gain a memory point because I used my revelation to put that memory before my memory of the sale.
Oh, right on. Cool. All right. Anybody else want to do a thing while you guys are here?
I think I'm good.
Cassidy is probably going to look over the DDM machine that they brought back and make sure it's in good working order. That kind of jazz.
Yeah, it does seem to be in good working order. I think there might be like a little damage to the hose, but you guys had a spare one. If I recall, you had a spare like breathing apparatus, so you can make a repair on that pretty easily by just like swapping out some parts. Do you want to make a roll for that?
Sure.
On rule of threes.
Yeah, get a third rule of threes. I mean, you have 3 rule of threes.
No, don't jinx me like that. Because knowing my luck is gonna be a rule of threes in the opposite direction.
Trust me, nothing bad could happen.
It's fine.
That
It's totally
I will
gonna be
find you
fine.
Okay.
Hey, look at that. Savvy success. Okay.
Hey, you almost did it.
Yeah, it's close. All right. So yeah, you're definitely able. Like you've been, now that you're starting to get used to working with these things. You worked with the DDM machines a couple times now. So you just breeze through it. It's pretty easy to swap out the 2 parts. You can decide what you want to do with the hose that was damaged. If you want to keep it, for something else, it might come up later or what.
Yeah.
But it's pretty easy to swap it out, and you even are able to like get it set up and properly usable. How many DDM machines does that make for you guys now? Is that 3 or 4?
3.
3.
I think 3.
3.
Um,
We have
yeah, I
2
think so.
from Naela's house, so this will be number 3.
You know, I think it's actually like 5.
I think it's actually 20 DDM machines.
Yeah, definitely.
I think there were 2 that we got from Naela's house, and then there was 1 already here.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
that'll make
Yeah,
4.
I think so.
Yeah, so we've got 4 now.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah.
Moving on up.
And the floors of the storage unit probably have like the storage unit. The floors of the shelter probably have like a place for you to attach them on the bottom. And yeah, you can attach them so they don't take up a whole lot of extra room. They just basically require an open space above them to like open a hatch and crawl in. And they also like feed straight into the water lines, for example, of the structure. So yeah, they stay full of water. It cycles in and out to keep the water clean. And it has some power lines that run to it as well, for like the hoses, the breathing things, maybe. Yeah, you get them all set up and ready to go. You can take an influence point for that as well.
I am going to give Ernest his medication.
Finally.
We should all drink the tea too.
Yeah, let's all get fucked up.
Doing drugs. I'm doing drugs.
Okay, you can do the drugs, and it makes more sense for everyone else to do the tea because it has the same effect without the trippiness to it, and that way it'll stretch it out longer.
Can I make the tea?
I don't see why not.
Okay, you say that, and now we're gonna have bad things happen.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to
it's a tea
I
you've
actually need
never
to do
made.
2 things.
So.
'Cause
Okay.
I'm just gonna use memory points. But I
Yeah.
I have to do 2 sets of memory points because one of them is my last transmission.
Oh, okay.
Because it has to be the battle bot.
Oh, okay. I understand.
So I have that one written out, but I don't have anything written out for tea making.
Just do food preparation.
Yeah, that would probably be a better idea.
I can come up with something. Actually, like, maybe a cool little reference for that, if you want me to.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you need to do the last transmission first? Is that how it works?
I think so. I mean,
You just have to do it as the last memory of your other sheet.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me take a look at your sheets.
Okay. I have it typed up. I don't have anything in the second sheet yet, but I have the last one typed up.
Okay.
Do we need to make rolls for this stuff?
Well, you can spend the for like creating memories. You mean?
No, to see if Naela's high off her ass or not.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. We'll definitely get to that in a second.
We'll get there.
Okay, so that's that last memory in the bottom right of sheet 1. Right?
I put not in use on in where the thing should go.
Okay, so you just want to like do the other one first before you activate it. I think that's fine.
Because I don't mind spending. I've been kind of hoarding my memory points, so I don't mind spending 4 memory points.
If you want to just do them both now, you can.
That's what I was hoping to do.
Yeah, you can just activate that last one now if you want. Do you know? Probably it would apply to the same thing. Is that how it works for you? Or no? I think it's just the same.
It
memory,
doesn't
but you can
specify. It
Yeah.
just has to be from the same machine.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
the stipulation.
Yeah. Okay. Well, do you want to go ahead and narrate that memory for us?
Yeah. I remember the clang of ammo bouncing off my armor as I do my best to fight off my opponent. I see an opening, and despite what my controller inputs, I use it to the fullest, bringing down my opponent quickly and without doing too much damage to either of us. Too bad it couldn't be like this every time.
Yeah, maybe you get that flashback like as you're working on the DDM machine or something, or like
Okay.
going through the different machine parts, like you're working on machines, and that comes to you.
Like I said, I didn't know what it would be for, so...
Yeah, I'm trying to look at it to help with that here.
Maybe, like, evasion?
It could be another evasion. It could also be like potentially
Precision strike.
Yeah, precision strike or like hand-to-hand combat or something like that.
I like hand-to-hand.
Or yeah, it could be like it could even be like you're describing a controller input. So I suppose I could even take like hand-eye coordination or something if you want to do something like that too. All right. And then you have your journal page 2, right?
Yeah.
Is that in there with your other journal page? It's not. Let me put it in there. Do you have control over it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why it wasn't in there already. That's probably my fault. So the first memory, this would be the first transmission of another machine, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Okay.
Domestic bot.
Yeah, essentially. little more complicated. Your first memory as this construct, this bot, you come to awareness in a shelter, in a small, cramped, dark shelter. Your memory files immediately tell you this is somewhere in the Umbra, indescript location. You're not exactly sure. But your job is to prepare food. Food for, there's only one person who lives here with you. In this memory, you go to speak when you first realize that you're sentient. Your first response is to speak out loud, and you realize that you have a male voice, a male bot voice. Like there's electronic distortion on it, but it sounds masculine. You look down at your body and you see like a black metallic body. You're looking through.
My little butler bot.
Well, it's human-sized.
A little butter bot.
Yeah.
You pass the butter.
Ew.
It's human-sized. It's not like styled like a butler or anything. It's actually kind of bulky. Looking down at your wrist, you see a few different attachments. One of them catches your eyes immediately is like a needle with some kind of fluid inside of it. You're not sure what the fluid is. And yeah, you're standing over this like hodgepodge, like scraped together cooking surface. It's very dirty. There's pieces of it that are broken and worn down. And there's like, it's like standing over an oven where there's like the part of it that's on is like red. And then sitting on like the eye of the oven is a like a boiling pot of water. And yeah, in one hand you've got some fungus. It's basically a mix of blue and I guess this is the white or gray fungus for the crush.
Mm.
And you're like putting it in there, and you grab a utensil that's a dirty utensil that's sitting nearby, and you start to stir the pot. You turn around and you see a disheveled woman sitting at a table nearby. She's working on a device, like a small. It's like a holographic screen. So she's got like what's akin to like a keyboard on the sort of table. The room's very small. It's dirty. And she's got like a keyboard on this table, and it's projecting like a screen up in front of her that's made out of light that she's like looking at these different symbols on. She has dark bags under her eyes, and she's wearing that same sort of like handmade like silk jumpsuit that we see a lot of like Ernest and Naela wearing. Not the exact same suit, but like a very similar one that's clearly like made by hand and very worn and dirty. And she looks very tired. Her hair's all messed up and kind of like greasy. She probably has it like pulled back out of her face. She's like covered in grease, and she's got this worried expression on her face as she's like staring at the screen with all these symbols clicking by. And you you pull the pot off the stove, and you start to walk over towards the woman sitting at the table. And you hear that male robot voice start to speak out again as he's like says something really monotoned, like, "Are you ready for your food, miss?" And then you just have this strong feeling of like protecting this woman, of like looking out for her, concern. It's like one of your first emotions, so it's a little overwhelming. You just have this strong sense of like you're worried that something bad might happen to this lady. And that's where the memory ends, I think. You just sort of like a flash again, and you come back, and you're like, I think I have an idea of how to cook this stuff. And you do. Does it seem okay to you? So it'd be like +1 to, I don't know, like cooking or fungus knowledge, or, you know, whatever you think would be a good applicator there.
I'm gonna do tea making because I want it to be specific to this task.
Okay. All right. +1 to tea making. All right.
Okay.
So you make some tea. How much of the crotch do you use? How many servings of tea are you making?
I'm at least gonna make for the 4 of us, but I am gonna ask Naela and Ernest if they want some as well before I make. So 4 to 5 servings. Or 4 to 6, depending on what Ernest and Naela say.
Let's see how Ernest is feeling. He looks to Naela with a confused look on his face.
You can give him the tea. I am not using the tea.
So, about 1 gram each. You're going to need about 5 grams of kraj to make tea for 5 people. Now, the good news is, it's not going to hit you really hard, but it will also like last you at least a couple days. I'd say with no effects. Similar to before, they'll start getting worse after like 2 days, 3 days. The symptoms will start coming back on, and you might start feeling them within a week really badly. But yeah, you can make teas for everybody. You guys scrounge together some cups or some things to drink out of. Mostly probably made from metal. You probably clean is a strong word. You run hot water in it, right? Like you run hot water through these things to quote unquote clean them, because there isn't really
Right.
like soaps. Maybe a specific fungus that you could use for cleaning, but yeah, it's not gonna kill you. You make tea for 5 people. Do you guys have how many grams total do we have of crush, guys?
She got 5 with her trade, and then I don't remember how many Dank got.
I want to say it was somewhere between 4 and 6.
I thought it was like, yeah.
Well, you said it was around the same amount that Naela got, so if you're going off of that, it would also be 5.
Yeah, so we'll say we had 10 all in all.
I'll say that's fine. Yeah. So you need 5 to make tea for 5 people. Which 5 are you using? Are you trying to split it between them? I'm just curious if you're asking Naela to contribute. That's all I'm trying to get at here.
Well, Naela did take both boxes, so she kind of has to anyways.
Okay, all right.
You get your box. I'll keep my box.
There we go.
All right.
Okay.
So you use so basically the medicine drugs are split in half. Naela gets half, the rest of you get half.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah. All right. Such a good save.
This seems equitable.
She will at least share with Ernest, because she did take his meds.
All right. Yeah, so you can contribute a gram out of your stash for Ernest. That leaves you with 4. The other group can use 4 for everyone else, and they'll have a gram left. So at least one stash has 1 gram, one stash has 4. Make sure you guys are keeping track of that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So you boil tea, and everyone drinks it. It doesn't taste great, but you picked up a trick from the robot. The other sense you get from the robot memory is he was really fond of cooking, actually. He sort of thought of it as like expression. In that early memory, like that was his first thought of like cooking is like
Cooking is another form of art.
yeah, almost like an art form, but he like a strong desire to like make something good with very little to do that with. Like
Minimalist.
Cassidy
Yeah.
is gonna sit there and like sip on our tea and go, eat sugar.
yeah. It's kind of bitter. It has like a little bit of a
Fungal taste.
yeah, musky kind of taste to it.
Umami does not belong in tea.
Dank's just gonna
It's a-
slam his.
It's a slightly meaty tea.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing shots.
Hey.
Yeah, I'll slam it down with tech.
like
Alright.
cheers and just.
I will smoke my crotch.
Okay, all right. You smoke your crotch. All right. Well, Naela, I need you to make a roll immediately. So, this would be like in response to drugs. If you probably have some kind of tolerance or something, I would say. But
I mean, I have a memory about drugs, but it's for the response to unknown, so I don't know.
well, I was gonna give you a +1 for tolerance, anyways. So you can just like use the memory that's related to the drugs if you want. Let's see how you do. So you guys like slam your teas down. Naela, are you hiding? You're not hiding what you're doing, right?
No.
Okay. So yeah, you guys see her like pull out her case, and she's got like a little maybe like metal or glass pipe. She stuffs some of the paste into, and then she like lights it up. You probably have like a little Maybe use that butane torch thing that we talked about, or
That'd be good.
if you have like your own lighter that you keep on you at all times. I think that'd be fine too. Not a butane torch, but just like a small little flame.
Yes.
Yeah, you takes a couple puffs. You succeed on the roll. So you play it off well, like you're not fucked up. So we like see your eyes kind of glaze over, and she starts to like stare off at just like a wall. And,
1,000-yard stare.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cat on catnip time.
Yeah. I'll let you decide.
She's gonna
if
get the
you-
zoomies.
Yeah, I'll let you decide, Naela, if you want to like hallucinate or anything. But it's definitely hitting you pretty hard. Obviously, it's not the best stuff, but it'll do.
Yes, absolutely
job.
hallucinating.
Okay. It's like
Hallucination.
yeah, she's just like staring off at a wall, blinking. Her eyes are really wide, and kind of like glossy. Maybe
At
her.
some point, Cassidy would go over and like lead her to a seat because she's afraid she'll just like fall over at some point.
Yeah, she probably stumbles a bit. Are you like really giggly or anything? Like,
She's probably a little bit more happy than what she usually is. So, yeah, probably a bit more giggly.
all right. And Cassidy, what do you say to like give her a hand?
Just kind of like, like, let's go sit down, dear, before you fall over and hurt yourself.
Yeah, that's what she says, but it sounds more like
Do I sound like one of the adults?
Let's go sit down, dear.
Yes!
her voice is all distorted and stuff.
Fucking dies. She's just like, okay, you little screamer.
Cassie just gets like this super confused look on her face, and she's like looking at the others men like, I didn't scream, did I?
And she like reaches out to like take your hand, and when she does, like she's like helping you over to sit down somewhere. You see when your hands touch, you see like gray and blue veins just like run up your arm from coming. They seem to be coming from her hand. Nobody else sees this. And like you look at her face and her.
I would like to spend an influence point.
Thanks, Dick. Okay, what are you spending the influence point for?
I don't want it to look like veins. I want it to look like wires.
Yeah, good use of that influence point. Love it. Okay. Yeah. So I feel like that's pretty cool. So yeah. So when you look down at your arm, instead of veins, it's like, yeah, it's definitely like wires and like electricity pulsing through them. You can kind of see like a light as they like light up, and it seems like it's like flows into your arm. Yeah, totally. That's awesome.
Kind of just like pokes at the little wires that are coming out of Cassidy's arm, or what it looks like to her. So she's probably just poking around Cassidy's arm.
Yeah. She starts poking you.
I have a question. Do I still feel normal?
Yeah, but you just drank tea. It's just taking longer to hit you.
No, I mean to Naela.
Oh. I mean, no, but she's really fucked up, right? So like, so I think as far as like the way it feels for Naela is like every little thing feels really good. Like, the texture of your skin feels really smooth, and it like when your skin makes contact, where your hands like make contact, or when she pokes you, she gets like tingles through her hand and through her finger and stuff, and like goosebumps start to run up her arm. Like everything she touches like feels really good. like, yeah. Especially like textured things. So if you're looking at like the panel, the wall panel of the shelter, it's made out of metal. I mean, it's not like perfectly smooth, right? Like there's some grooves in it. There's places where machinery hooks on and stuff like that. She might be tempted to just like run her hand across that over and over again. You know what I mean? Like, stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, you must pet all the things. Absolutely.
He probably is trying to walk over to the wall and just touch it.
Yeah.
So really, she like falls and then she's crawling to the wall.
Cassidy would help her to her feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you like reach out and touch the wall, the metal wall. And we see it like from both perspectives, right? We see everyone kind of sitting there watching you as they just drank their tea. And then we cut to what you're seeing, and we like, of course, we see you just like touching the metal wall. And then we cut to what you're seeing, and you reach out and push your hand against the wall, and your hand like sinks into it, and the like wall turns into like liquid that like starts to like envelop your hand, like your wrist. And then like you pull your hand back out, and it's like wet, like your hand looks like visibly wet from touching the wall. And then the wall starts to like ripple, like liquid as you're staring at it, and it darkens.
That's terrifying.
And then like you hear this low growling sound. It's just like, and it's coming from the wall. It's coming from the place where you just touched it. What do you do?
She probably puts her ear up against the wall and is trying to hear directly where this growl is coming from.
So you start to put your ear up against the wall, and again, like the liquid starts to go around your head, as your head like sinks into the wall. It's dark, like on the other side. If you push in, hard enough for it to like cover your whole head, you know, like your eyes and stuff.
Yes.
Okay, like push your whole head in, and you feel like your head's submerged in liquid. It's dark. You can't see anything. You try to breathe and you can't. It's just like, it feels like liquid pouring into your lungs, like cold water just like flooding your lungs when you try to breathe. And then you hear that rumbling again, that sort of growling sound getting louder and building. And it's just like, and it's just black on the other side. You're like 11 in the upside down right now. Like you just like,
Plot twist, it's the Leviathan.
yeah. It's just like blackness on the other side. And we see your like head just stuck there by itself. Yeah. And like you're struggling to breathe and you can't. Do you like try to wait it out? What do you do?
No, if I can't breathe, I'm trying to get in a position to where I can breathe.
Yeah, so you're gonna pull your head back out. Okay. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you like pull your head back out of the wall, like you pull up your two hands, you feel them like press on the wall, and they don't actually sink in this time. The hands don't sink in, and you like start trying to pull your head out, but it's like stuck. Like you're pulling it, but it's not like coming out of the wall. It's like there's something, it's not moving. Like you can't get your head to move. And like you're starting to panic because your air is getting really low. And like you just like feel like you can't hold your breath anymore. Your lungs feel like they're bursting. Your chest kind of feels like it's on fire. And yeah, you look up in the darkness and you see these two large yellow eyes open as the growling starts to get louder. It's like filling your head. And these two large yellow eyes open somewhere off in the distance. They're huge. You can't tell if they're just like really close, or if they're just like really far away, but they're just enormous, like the size of a city. Yeah, you look at them and they have these like black reptile slit pupils on them. And yeah, the growling sound just gets louder. And then we see your like face turning red and blue, and then you pull yourself out. Like your head finally like slips out through the wall. We see it like ripple, and you like can breathe again. Everyone else watching this, she was just like having a panic attack. She's standing there like feeling the wall, and then she just like starts hyperventilating. She looks like she's gonna collapse. And then suddenly, like, you're aware. You're back in the room with everybody. You can breathe. Take an influence point.
What the fuck was that?
Take an
Well, that was a panic attack. You should probably like breathe slowly for a little while.
There were yellow eyeballs staring at me.
Drugs are a
Oh.
hell of a drug.
That's what we call a bad trip.
I
Cassidy's
never
gonna like
have
go
bad
over and
trips.
pull in. Cassidy's gonna go like over and like pull her into a hug and pat her head.
This is why you don't smoke mid.
This feels nice.
Yeah. Everything's fine now, Naela. Like, you were kind of worried for a second there. But yeah, once you get your head back out of the wall, like, everything's fine.
Alright, so what are we doing next?
Well, go collect the second part of our tax run.
Yeah, I was about to say go on and do the rest, I guess.
Do we have time today to do that, or should we leave that for the next cycle?
It's like noon, and that place is 3 hours away. So if we went there, got the stuff, and headed back, we could make it back by nighttime. Or by,
End of lapse.
the end of lapse.
We have to be careful in the dark, though.
At the very least, we could take shelter at that outpost where everyone got horribly murdered.
Yes, that
That's
sounds as good as what you said.
terrible.
Yes.
Sorry, what did you just say? I missed that.
I
He said at least we could take shelter at that outpost where everybody got horribly murdered.
Oh yeah, yeah, totally.
Sounds reasonable.
Clearly,
We
it's
could
safe.
also talk to your friends and see if maybe they're interested in taking over the abandoned outpost. Would help Shalim some.
Yeah, I mean, we could bring a group of people that way and, start getting it prepared if that's cool.
Well, I mean, they're desperate for food, right? I'm sure they would.
Well, yeah, but they're
trade
just gonna
quite a
eat
bit
it and
for
then
us.
run away.
Doesn't mean we can't at least give them the opportunity.
Given what's going on, I don't think Salim's going to want to spread himself so thin. Maybe after they come and collect the taxes from us here, he might start trying to get that outpost established.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying we promise anything, but at least like see if they're interested in like put in a good word with Shalim if they are, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's at the very least more arable farmland.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'd probably go and discuss everything going on with that outpost and plans for the future for it with Salim before we head out.
All right. Yeah. He thanks you for filling him in. He, when you like go to his shelter, he answers the door relatively quickly. He's looking tired, dark bags under his eyes, a little sweaty. But yeah, he's glad to see that you guys have made it. He probably directs you to a nearby warehouse to drop the stuff off. The warehouse does have like guards, but they check you and they check that sheet that he provides you with, and they kind of nod, let you drop the stuff off. Yeah, and he tells you guys that he'll try to think of something. If there's anyone they can spare here to man that, to man the what's left of the Mudabi farm. And yeah, he basically says, well, let me know when you get back with the rest so I can give you the rest of your payment.
Sounds like a plan.
Do you guys tell him about the stuff you encountered?
Like the asapu and everything?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Do you
don't see
guys
why
think
not.
that's a good idea?
I would tell them about like the asapu and that kind of stuff. I wouldn't tell them about the people hiding.
Okay.
Yeah, he shows some concern over that. Certainly. He asks. First thing he asks is if you were attacked at all.
No.
So he seems happy to hear that. He like nods. He says, "Good." He says, "If I were you, I would steer clear of them if possible. They can be aggressive if cornered, like a wild
Well,
animal."
keep
Most
that in
animals
mind.
are.
Okay.
He says, and they're known to be quite strong, stronger than they look. And he kind of like
All right.
sighs, and he's like, "Well, best of luck. I'll be trying to get some scavenging done while you're off. I'll catch up with Udaya."
All right, man. Make sure you get some sleep. You look pretty worn out.
Yeah, he says, "There's no time. Too much work to do."
Gotta make time, man. I know how it is.
Yeah, he's like, "I appreciate it. I'll see what I can do. Be careful."
You too.
So you guys head back off?
That's the plan.
All right.
Yeah.
So you take your leapers. Once again, empty. And head back out. Now, why don't the rest of you make your checks now? Naela's already made hers. But now that you've had some time for that warm tea to settle into your belly, it's time for you guys to make some rolls. Do you have anything that might help you resist the effects of the drugs? If not, it's just a normal roll.
I don't think so.
Nope. Not unless it's unknown, but I don't think it is.
No, it's
Does
not.
my tea making count?
No, you can make the tea, but it has nothing to do with your resistance to it, unfortunately.
You made it particularly gentle.
I'm using an influence point. There we go.
Okay. Savvy success. All right.
Like, would making a memory help? I just don't know what the memory would be based on.
The memory, like the skill could be like tolerance, right? Or tolerance to Kraj, or like something similar, if you can think of something along those lines.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and make a memory.
Poor Dank.
If I fail this one, I'm making a memory too. Yeah, I'm making a memory.
Oh no! Okay, all right.
I'm just gonna make a +1 memory to something
Oh.
resistance
Oh.
to drugs.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Kraj specifically, or like, I guess it can be like resistance to fungus drugs, I suppose.
You
I
have
will
done those
think
before.
Have,
Yeah.
but I also have to think of it as a third person, like as a building.
Yeah. Have you picked a location yet?
I was just gonna do the casino at this point.
Okay.
I'm sure there's lots of drugs going through
Yeah,
there.
yeah, I would imagine people are like popping Molly, everything.
Okay. You can pick different locations later on, right?
I think so. I think it's just the first page. It has to be one,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
like one specific one.
All right. That's fine. It can be the casino.
Yeah.
So what's going on at the casino? Does someone spike your drink? Do you like do a little deal and then like?
Oh, no, he has to remember it as the casino.
Oh yeah,
To remember it as the casino.
Oh,
So
no.
I'll think about it later.
Maybe-
Yeah,
I'm almost picturing like what was that Hunter S. Thompson Las Vegas where he takes mescaline with that Indian guy in Las Vegas. You know what I'm talking about? Johnny Depp is in the movie.
Yeah. Was
Fear and Loathing in
Fear and
Las
Loathing
Vegas.
in Las Vegas. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
I'm imagining something similar where they're like you're like watching from above as the casino, as these people are like popping, drugs and stuff. And unbeknownst to you, some of the stuff they're taking is like mescaline or some kind of fungus derivative.
Yeah. It'll be something along that lines.
All right. So that makes you automatic +1 success. Let's see.
I'm gonna do
Cassidy.
this thing kind of thing. I've already got.
I don't know what
you.
you guys are talking about. I'm
Success.
fine.
Darren, success. All right.
Cassidy's
Dank.
doing even better than Derrin.
Yeah. Okay. So everybody gets a success.
Right
All
in
right.
that memory.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys want to narrate your memory? Anybody want to narrate theirs? Have it.
Yes.
All right. Go for it.
No.
Back in training, I used to do and grow psycho-sylvan with my squad as part of strengthening our minds. I got pretty good at handling the trips and guiding myself and others. Each ego death we experienced solidified our consciousness, made us stronger in the long run.
I like it. All right. Cool. All right. So, Cassidy is the only one with a savvy success. Mostly you're feeling relatively unaffected, Cassidy. Every once in a while, if you like look at the surface of the corridor as you guys are walking along, you're setting off, you're feeling the effects start to set in. Every once in a while, like you look at the wall and it looks like it's waving slightly,
The color's a little off.
Yeah, just every once in a while. But mostly you feel unaffected. Maybe you feel like a little bit off balance, maybe even like a little bit dizzy at times, but it doesn't ever last very long. The rest of you guys with just a regular success, the walls are a little bit wavy. I mean, it's not it's not debilitating. You're not going to get any minuses to rolls. But yeah, it's just like something you notice it. Maybe you're a little bit more happy-go-lucky feeling, maybe a little bit more moody, or I'll let you decide how to play it out. But yeah, you're noticing some tracers on the dim lights overhead as you pass them, that kind of stuff. All right, so you guys continue on into the dark. Take the same route, I'm guessing. Get to that fork. You stay left again this time?
Yep.
Yes.
Right. Go right. We can fast forward hour and a half-ish later. You're back at the Mudabi farm that you just left. You guys continue on from there?
That is the plan.
Yeah.
Just giving
We
you...
check to make sure anything's out of place first, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to make
See
a
if
roll?
anything changed. Yeah, I'd like to make a roll.
I'll
I
help.
can help you with that roll. All right.
No.
Influence point.
Yeah. Influence point to reroll it. Why am I getting so many fails?
Right.
All the
There's no twos. It's just threes
Yeah.
and ones.
There.
All right, success. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone's been in the house. You do notice one thing. Relatively fresh, like within the last couple hours. Some tracks that headed back toward the way you're coming from. They're small. They're the smaller feminine ones.
Bare feet.
Yeah, bare feet. It's like
I think that's
they followed you for a little bit when you guys left. The timing about adds up.
Did we notice anything through the tunnels this time? I assume not.
No, like if you stopped at the fork and checked, you might have heard that same machinery sound. Nothing was like stalking you like last time. It seems like if this thing followed you, it followed not immediately after you, but waited.
Okay.
And waited a little bit, and then sort of just like walked down the tunnel a little ways, and then eventually, they come to a halt. Probably before you even get back to the fork, they come to a halt up against the wall.
just like stop dead. They don't turn around. They just come to a wall and then no more tracks.
Okay, there's something with that wall.
Do we want to mess with it right now?
While we're close to like somewhere that we could rest, just in case we need to go somewhere, yes, I think so.
Okay. We're
We've
gonna
got enough time, I think.
The darkness. Be careful.
Yeah, but we're close to somewhere we should be safe. So
Yeah, we're only an hour and a half away from the base camp.
Yeah.
Is
So
there something like a stick or like a piece of rebar or something nearby?
We've got the ore.
I
yeah,
have
the
my goddamn
ore.
spear.
Try it.
That'd be work.
yeah. What's the plan here?
I want to use
poke it.
something long to poke the wall. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You poke the wall. Nothing happens.
Poke it harder.
Looking at the wall, there is like some kind of like a top right. The wall has two very small seams that, like, you're looking at where the footsteps start. There's two very small seams on the left and right side, almost like a doorway, or like it would open somehow. Top right, there is like a small lens-looking device. It kind of looks like a camera, but not quite. You poke the wall, nothing happens.
I wiggle my fingers at it and say, "Open sesame."
Just poke the lens.
Yeah, you poke it gently, like you're not trying to break it, or like what?
Yeah, not trying to break it.
Yeah, you poke the lens gently, and there's a flicker of light, like a blue light that kind of flicks. It seems like it takes a second to turn on, so it flicks on and off a couple times, and then it turns on, and you see like a blue line, horizontal line.
Fingerprint? What?
It hits the top of your head and like scans down your body.
Oh, okay. Body print.
And then like nothing
Oh
happens.
God damn it!
Hmm.
I'm curious on what's behind the door.
We all are.
Yeah.
I'm about to like hold up my spear and open the door.
Yeah, the seams on either side are probably too small to like wedge the spear in there. They're quite small, like smaller than.
Hey,
Whoa. Ooh.
Cassidy, do you want to try?
Yeah, use your machine speak thing.
I do a special roll, right?
I don't
I
know.
can
You tell me.
try.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's a special roll.
it is.
Plus, it's
Cool
increased
with the
by whatever
machine
memories you have about the
spirits.
stuff.
Yeah, your first and last transmissions had like a +1.
Not for the first page though.
Right.
Right, but you should have one first transmission.
Let's
Yeah.
take a look. What page is your habitat on? Do you know?
Actual page numbers is 128. I can't remember. I think it's like 66 on the PDF.
That's okay. I can find it. Yeah. 128. Okay, there's 32, 30.
Special roll.
28.
For every first transmission reported after the first one.
Yeah, so you get a +1.
I get
Yeah.
2.
Dang it.
Yeah. So, how does this look narratively? Do you say something the others just don't understand what you're saying? Are you like saying it in specific frequencies or tones, almost like musically?
Binary.
Yeah. How does this work? I'll let you decide.
I would like to think it would be more like the voice goes more robotic kind of. I was always my idea of it.
Yeah, I like that. It's
Maybe
like
it's like some like pitched version of binary. maybe.
Yeah.
Whistle at it in binary.
Okay.
It's like there's like
Do the Captain
almost,
Crunch whistle.
Yeah.
So, well, my idea was almost like I've seen people do it. It's like floppy disk readers. Like you know how the people make the music out of it.
Yeah, that's
You ever
awesome.
seen that?
I've seen that.
Yeah, so something like that.
Okay. 1 die, 2. Okay, well, yeah, you rolled it correctly.
But it's I roll to see if something understands me.
Yeah. Understand.
Oh,
what
but
is
it's only
missing.
if I succeed that something else rolls to see if it understands me.
Yeah. So I think here's what happens. The like after like the first scan, the device turns back off. Then you make this sound. And it probably sounds quite strange to the rest of you. Maybe there's like tones missing that you don't hear. The machine lights back up. It scans you again, and then there's like a noise, and it turns back off.
Okay. We try scanning all of us? Like individually, one at a time? Make sure none of us are correct?
Who did it scan whenever it went like no?
I think Dank poked
Me?
it, so it probably scanned him, and then
Yeah.
just now it scanned you.
Okay.
I poke at it as well.
Yeah, you guys take turns poking the lens. Yeah, each time it like flickers on, it runs that blue horizontal line down the length of your body, and then it turns back off. It doesn't seem to open for any of you. The rest of you don't hear that sort of noise. Cassidy, only you heard that.
Okay. It was
Um,
only on
It
my
doesn't.
scan that it did that?
Yeah, it only like you only heard it while it did that to you while you were doing the thing. You don't hear it again when they're trying, but it as far as like how it looks, it seems to look like it's doing the same thing.
Why don't we put a pin in it and come back later?
Seems you're doing that a lot lately.
We have a lot of pins.
A lot of
Fucking
pins.
pen cushion by now.
Yeah.
We do have a bit of a tight timeline right now.
Alright, so we'll come back to this, back on with the journey to get the taxes.
I need more
Ooh.
string for all of these pins.
Cassidy is going to bend down and wipe away the footprints from the area.
Okay.
That is a really good idea, yeah.
Yeah, I think you can do that. No problem. Take a couple minutes
And
or whatever.
maybe
but-
when we come back, we can see if, since now there's not a bunch of traffic here, maybe we can see if something else, maybe she stands a certain way or something.
Or, hold up some kind of corpse to it. Or,
Oh,
I mean, I
gross.
was going to suggest that, yeah.
I mean, fair.
There's some chance that it's the asapu itself that it's scanning for, though.
probably, yeah. Maybe we can figure out some kind of way to communicate with the asapu.
Also,
mean,
Or we
I
make
could
ourselves
always
look like the
try.
asapu.
You guys just find some dead crickets and stick them to your head. It'll be fine. You'll be
No.
alright.
We can use scrap. Scrap would be
There-
fine.
If they're connected to the Leviathan, I could have the Leviathan do some stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
you gotta roll high for that, though.
Alright, so we continue on our way.
All right. So you guys get back out into the vault where the Mudabi farm is. That sort of like large open vault area. Continue across the other side, past the generator. You come to another large corridor, and you head down. This corridor is much like the last one, fairly wide, fairly sparse as far as obstructions go. There is that faint sound of dripping somewhere in the distance that you hear. And after about another hour and a half or so-ish, you come to the start of the Karam clan's farm. The field where the Karam clan makes their home is located in a small detachment that cuts into the hallways via a small tunnel. The tunnel ascends for about 100 meters at the end, keeping the interior of the vault out of the flood's reach. The detachment has a rectangular shape, about 200 meters in diameter. As you guys sort of come into this like large open rectangular space, you immediately see the pale glow of a fungi field. And it's similar to the last one. It's out of the way of the water. Here, however, there's not water running directly below you. Like that last bit of the corridor actually kind of goes upwards, up like stairs or like an incline. And this vault doesn't seem to be flooded. Let's see here. Let me copy you guys over here. There's a large like scaffolding that kind of goes over the top, but past the scaffolding, it's open to the ceiling. And there's places to walk down the middle too. Here, you can see across the other side of the vault, there is a very similar looking generator to what was in the previous vault, but this one, the attachments built onto it are the living spaces. Those with a knack for botany, fungus, can take a look at the field and see what they can pick up from it. If you like, as you guys are like walking towards this like living area generator.
I get a bad feeling about this.
I want to make another memory?
No.
You can. I mean, it's up to you guys.
I
I
would
just
like
get a bad
to.
feeling about this.
It'll be fine.
We don't see any people out and about.
Not yet. You've just entered the vault. And yeah, you're looking at this large grow area, and then it's clearly like blue fungus, like you can tell. Some of it's starting to reach its glow phase. Yeah, and then on the other side, you got all this scaffolding over the top of you, all this metal scaffolding. It's like sort of been clearly like put into place by human hands or machine hands. We don't really know, but it's clearly like put into place. Yeah, and then across the other side, you see one of those large, tall generators looking structures, very similar to the last one you saw. This one has like places built into the sides of it and on the front of it where like people are clearly like living in this. Like they've built their home onto the generator, basically. So like bits of metal structure that are sort of like built off of it or like repurposed parts of it that are no longer being used. It's a very large generator, large enough for like a family to live in.
I don't think any of us has spot knowledge except for Naela.
Right.
And she said beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make a memory for botany knowledge. Fuck it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'll just make one.
Sure. All right. So, your success would tell you that the pale glow of the fungi field indicates one thing: the harvest is not ready. This one is less far along than the previous one you saw at the Mudabi farm.
Oh dang.
taking a look at the building, you don't see any like obvious big storage like warehouse area. And the last place had one that was kind of hidden, so you're fairly certain, unless they've got like a storage space that's just chock full of blue fungus, the whole trip might be in vain because it doesn't look like the crop is ready. Yeah.
I knew it was bad.
Do you guys continue on towards the structure?
Yes.
So, you guys get about halfway across the field. As you're making your approach, you start to hear shouting coming from within the structure. It's a woman. It's a woman's voice. It's kind of muffled. 'Cause it's coming from inside the structure, so it's hard to make out what she's saying exactly. But then the structure door opens and slams. She slams it behind her, which makes a loud bang. She then raises a weapon towards you all. Clearly a death spitter. She's also wearing like a gas mask on her face. Here, let me show you what she looks like.
Oh shit.
She looks something like this. She like steps out onto this like porch area that's about level with you guys, maybe just maybe like a foot or two elevated, but it's dead at the end of this line of crops. And she like raises this death spitter and points it at you guys, and you hear her yell clearly. You can hear her because she's outside now. She says, "I've told Shalim's minions that if he wants his harvest, he can get it himself." Yells at you. Her face, like, it's hard to tell with the blue light, but her face looks kind of flush. This would be a good moment to remind you guys that rash actions might result in her firing at you.
What? Really?
Dank slowly
Cassidy.
raises his empty hands.
Cassidy is too.
Yeah, you see
He
her.
states clearly, delegation is an important part of leadership.
Yeah, you see
One
her
man
eyes.
can't be at all places at all times.
Her eyes kind of wide and wild as she like looks back and forth between you all. Yeah. So you like raise your hands, try to look non-threatening. What do the rest of you do?
Cassidy's doing the same thing. Like, don't shoot.
Yeah, I'm gonna raise my hand slowly.
Yep.
You don't say anything?
Not at the moment.
Nobody wants to say anything?
Not yet.
Waiting on a response from what I said.
All right. There's the sound. There's a sharp kind of thunk sound as nearby you see a wedge-shaped piece of dark metal suddenly embedded in a post close to where you guys are standing. And she says, "That's close enough. I told you, turn around and go. We ain't got what you're looking for."
What do you mean you don't have it?
She says, she kind of like gestures towards the plants with the end of the weapon. And she says, "Well, look around. It's not ready, is it?"
Okay. Then why is it not ready yet?
She kind of like huffs. Are you trying to like de-escalate the situation here?
Kind of. I'm also just curious.
Yeah.
Like, the others did a pretty good job. What are you doing? Not that I say that out
You're
loud.
dead.
Yeah. She shoots you. No. She says.
There goes my part number.
She says, "Look, Dweed's not here. You can ask him when he gets back. I don't know where him or my daughter are. There's nothing here to take. At least, At least not enough, considering what you arcane vermin usually ask for.
Pick up on the topic of like the missing people. How long have they been gone?
Let's see here. I don't know. A while. It's been about a lapse or so.
It's a little important if you remember a little bit more in detail. There have been disappearances recently.
Look, all I know is Dweed said that he'd be out to locate our daughter. She's been gone now for a cycle. We've been searching for her all over. And he hasn't come back. I'm worried.
What do they look like?
Yeah, she describes a relatively middle-aged man, small in stature, and by comparison to you guys, probably about Naela's size. This lady is also kind of small. He's dark-skinned, very little facial hair, and the daughter has got like a little bit lighter skin, dark hair.
They wouldn't happen to fit the description of the guy with the back of his head ripped out and the woman with the
Asapu.
asapu on her head.
So if you ask her for like the build of her daughter, the description she gives you kind of matches with the asapu that you saw.
Do I happen to remember any like birthmarks? Yeah, moles and obvious things like that would be because I just like did an art. I just did a piece of the asapu earlier, so
yeah,
it's a little bit fresh in my mind.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Maybe you like picked up on a specific scar or something. Yeah, definitely a match. But her description of Dweed doesn't match anything that you've seen.
Right, but we've not seen any of the other asapu, so out of character, who wants to break the news?
This lady, she's still pointing the gun at you. She's fairly irritated. Like, she's basically like, look, my husband or whatever is not here. Neither is my kid. I'm not trying to deal with this. I don't have your payment. Get out of here, basically.
Continue to try to de-escalate, like, say something regarding, look, maybe we can help each other out here. It's clearly obvious that, the tax isn't ready yet. You're concerned you've got missing family and people important to you. We could help you try and locate them. Maybe we've seen something. We could probably have a much more civil discussion if you weren't pointing a death spitter at us.
All right. Make a roll. This would be some kind of like de-escalation, persuasion, or like some kind of social check. Derrin might be able to help you.
I can't remember. Did you say how long, like, how much, I guess, time is left for these mushrooms to grow?
More than 7 lapses, because the other ones were 7 lapses.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one's probably got like a cycle, which is like...
Is way too long.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just roll for it.
All right.
Oh, sorry, I meant to help you.
Oh, that was with your help.
Okay, good.
All right. So you like mentioned about helping her find them, and she kind of like calms down. You hear her breathing start to slow. And she says, help. Really? That doesn't sound like Arku. Who are you
Just
with?
because we work for them doesn't mean we're like them.
She kind of like tilts her head back and looks down her nose at you, like squints her eyes.
I despise them with a passion.
Yeah, she huffs. She looks at...
That's how she
Naela.
feels about us on a good day.
Yeah, her gaze kind of lingers on Naela a little bit longer than the rest of you. And she says, "All right, well, come on inside then. We'll talk this over. I'll tell you what I know, and you can
Right.
find him."
I lower my hands and slowly start making my way over there.
Before you do, I would like to, like, in hushed tones, kind of relay the fact that it is pretty much confirmed that her daughter's the Arku, or not the Arku, the asapu.
How do you suggest we breach that topic to her?
I honestly, in this particular instance, I do think honesty is the best policy.
Okay.
It's gonna suck, but she needs to know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. All right, well, we'll wait till we're all sitting down and the gun is farther away.
Yeah.
So she lowers the gun. She doesn't keep pointing it. She turns her back to you guys, walks inside the house, leaves the door open, like waves you guys in, inside the structure, like leaves the door open. You hear the kind of low hum of the generator start to build as you get closer to the structure. This one doesn't have that whining sound that you kind of heard from the other one. This one's clearly been regularly maintained. You don't have like anything that sounds out of place with this generator. Once you walk in, the interior of the house is lit by an, quote, agonizing, titillating light. So just strange lighting. There's a small dining table, a refrigerator unit, and an opening with a ladder that leads to like some kind of large storage room below. You can't really like see it from up here. You'd have to go down there. Yeah. As you guys walk in, from that opening's sort of threshold, you see two kids that look toward you guys. Let's see here. One is like, it's hard to tell if it's a boy or a girl. Its face is totally covered with a similar like gas mask looking thing. It's wearing thick clothes and it's carrying a bag, very small, even for a kid. The other one, probably a girl. Hair is exposed. She's wearing like just a typical like sort of silk shirt, light shirt with the gas mask on, and you can see her like scowling at you through the large open glass on the front of the mask. She's like furrowing her brow at you, like little toddler aged girl. She looks mad. She looks mad at you.
Okay.
And you just see them for a brief moment. And as soon as they're spotted, they tuck themselves back into that storage room that's underneath.
Okay.
Naela, you can probably tell immediately when you see them. They're small enough. Those kids were definitely born in the Umbra. Like, it's hard to tell with the lady. She might have lived here for most of her life, perhaps, because she is quite small. But those kids are small enough that it's like, yeah, those are definitely born here.
Okay.
Yeah. The lady, like, she holds on to her gun. She tucks it under one arm, but it's, like, pointed towards the floor. And she sort of gestures to, like, this is like a seating area. There's like a dining table and a couple like chairs, metal chairs around it. She's like inviting you guys to sit down.
Dank pulls up a chair and sits down without hesitation.
Can I make a little like gesture towards Cassidy and like towards the kids and maybe like a little like wind up motion? Like, hey, could you, I mean, we're about to have like a pretty not great conversation. Maybe the kids don't need to know this right now.
Distract the
Cass-
kids.
Cassidy will like crouch down as she approaches to like not be so tall and starts lining up the waddle ducks and letting them go near them.
Yeah, the kids like went like they were looking up out of that ladder that leads down into the storage room, and as soon as you guys made eye contact with them, they ducked back into the storage room, like they're gonna get away from you guys.
Well, yeah, but at
You
least
know
this
how
will.
kids eavesdrop.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely like go down there, and try to interact with them. I'm just saying you have to like leave the party. You may still
Yeah,
be able to hear
probably
what's going
not
on.
probably not a good idea to leave, but I think that they'll still be listening enough that if they hear something like that, they may take a peek and be like, "Oh, what's that? Is it a toy?"
Okay.
They're not kids that know about toys, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. Maybe they'll be
Oh,
interested.
what's this cool thing that's walking on the ground?
Yeah.
She'll take all 4 out and like do them near the entrance.
All right. Do you want to make some
Like,
kind of
sit
check
down
to
on the
see if
ground.
you can like get their attention?
Sure.
Uh,
I don't think I'll have anything that'll bonus that.
yeah. I don't know. Just like I'll give you a +1 because you made the cool toys. And
Dank knows how to grab attention. He could assist.
Good. Yeah.
Hit him with the dankest fucking baseline.
Yeah, it's a good idea. You just, while seated, pull out my guitar and start strumming to try to make a more chill atmosphere.
All right. I'll give you a +2. Oh.
Oh God.
I'll
Yeah,
use an influence point.
Okay. All right. You can
This is
use the
not my
influence
night
point.
tonight. I don't have many left.
Oh, you still
God.
got a fumble. Dank, she's getting a +1 from your help.
Oh, okay.
I was about to say I don't know if he was just rolling for general atmosphere as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just playing the guitar.
That's a fumble, Cassidy. You wanna stay with it, or do you wanna like?
I mean, the worst that
I'm
happens
alive.
is you just look a little bit weird and have to rejoin the group. I don't know if I want to spend too much influence on this.
There we go.
She's in another one.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we got it at least.
Yeah. So you go over the edge of this opening, you like wind up the toys, and like Dank's in the background playing some awesome bass music, and yeah, there's something. It's positive about the sound. Like it entices the kids, and they like peek their eyes up over the edge and see the toys, and yeah, they the girl kind of like stops furrowing or making an anger face at you, and they're kind of like intrigued. They don't say anything, but one of them like starts to kind of like slowly reach out to one of the toys, like reaches his hand over the top of the opening and starts to like reach out like he's gonna touch it and see what it does. Do you let him?
Yeah, Cassidy will pass down 3 of them.
Yeah. They
And the one she keeps for herself, she like shows them how to wind it. Like, obviously like nothing's actually said between them, but
yeah. Yeah, they watch you intently, and then you you hold up the things, like gesture like you're gonna hand it to them. They hold out their hands. You put one in each of their hands, or you split up a 3 among the 2 of them, and then they like quickly run back down
there's
the opening.
only 2 of them.
Yeah, there's only 2 kids. Yeah.
Then I would just do 1 each.
All right, so yeah, you
Like I
give them
said.
1 each, and they tuck it. As soon as it like hits their hands, they're like holding their hands open, like you were trying to catch water in your hands or something. They're holding their hands out like that. You drop the toy in their hands. They tuck it to their chest immediately, and they like climb down. You hear them like they climb down the ladder really fast, like they're in a hurry. And you hear like stomping along the floor, and then you hear a pause, and then you hear like the toys wind up.
Aww.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, and then you hear them like the toys like playing, and then you hear like giggling sounds coming from both of them.
Okay,
Aw.
there we go.
And to be fair, that did probably help us with the adults.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, is she already sitting as well?
After he's plopped on the floor.
Yeah, she kind of waits for you guys to sit before she like sits down. She watches Cassie interacting with her kids like with a concerned eye for a moment, and she seems kind of satisfied that you're just like being nice to the kids and stuff. But yeah,
To be
if
fair,
you guys
he's,
will
like,
like
some
sit
random
down and
stranger.
settle, she'll sit down, and she keeps the gun like tucked under one of her arms, but she doesn't point it at you or anything. Yeah.
All right. I don't really know how to say this besides just I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, ma'am. I'm pretty sure we've already found your daughter.
Oh, Zaya? Where is she?
She's around, but not so much with us anymore.
She gets a concerned look on her face. What do you mean?
From what I know, she's not quite all there anymore. Have you heard of an asapu?
Yeah, you see like tears welling up in her eyes. Let's see if she knows what an asapu is. Yes. She nods and she starts crying. She's like trying to speak, but she can't because she's like
Choked up with emotion.
Yeah. So she keeps like trying to talk, but it's just like these sad little attempts at speech, right? And she keeps like being interrupted, but like she tries to compose herself. And she says, okay, okay. Is she still alive?
Right.
Yeah, you see like a couple more tears like run down her face. She's like composing herself, but the waterworks are still coming, and she says,
I know it's probably like greasy and dirty and stuff, but Cassidy will offer like a rag or something that she has on her.
yeah, she takes it. She says, thank you. She like wipes her eyes. I think she probably like takes the mask off for a moment. And she says, what about Dweed? Have you seen him?
We're not sure on your husband.
But we will keep looking.
Yeah.
She nods.
I don't want to get your hopes up too high. We have some circumstantial, not concrete evidence that he may also have had the same thing happen, but we're not confirming it yet.
Yeah, she nods and she says, well, look, I'm not going to lie to you. You're with Shalim, right? That wasn't a misunderstanding.
That's correct.
Yeah.
As things are right now, I can't really pay the full extent of the debt without what's been taken away.
What was taken away? And who took it?
Well, I'm not sure exactly who took it, but our storage of the blue fungus has been hit particularly hard, as well as our crush. Don't really have any left of that. The fungus, I have less than half what we need to make our payment.
How is it just your daughter and husband that are missing?
She nods.
Okay.
What?
We also have some reason to believe that there's more than two asapu, so it could be, and we've located a different place that had what appeared to be some of their rations stolen as well. It could be the asapu looking for food, and they may have come back to get food here because at least one of them might have known where it was.
She nods. She says, I'm concerned for Dweed. He went looking for Zaya and he hasn't returned. So
Ask her if he went down the right tunnel instead of the left one.
I don't think she would know.
yeah, she shakes her head. I don't know where he went. I would help if I could, but I've got to stay here. And she looks towards that small opening that leads to their storage room. I've got to stay here and look after Ninsun and Isho. But if you can find Dweed, I will give you our last harvest. And you have my word that once this one is finished, we'll pay the rest.
Do you happen to have a piece of his clothing?
She kind of frowns and she says, "Wait, clothing? Why?"
Help us locate him.
One moment. And she like stands up and she like walks back to another room, opens a door, and as soon as the door opens, you see like basically like raw machinery, like the generator, right? Because their house is like built onto it. There's not like a lot of moving parts, but you can kind of see the wall like vibrating, right? And there's like bits of pipes and stuff sticking off of it. As soon as she like opens this door, she like starts to climb up the wall. And she's gone for like, I don't know, like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute. She comes back and she's holding a like a dark silk, almost like a jacket, kind of like a coat. And she like lays it down on the dining table, and she says, "Will this work?"
That'll do.
Yes. Do you mind if I take it with us?
She pauses for a moment, and she says, "Not if you bring it back with him."
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
One more thing. I know this is also a little bit weird. We don't need to take this, but is there anything that he found like important to him?
What do you mean?
Some object that he was specifically fond of, or anything like that?
She kind of like furrows a brow. And she says, "Well, he took most of his things with him. He had a." She like touches her like neck, like the bottom of her neck. Pendant that he wore, given to him by an old friend. He wore it around his neck, but it's not here. He took it with him.
All right.
She pauses for a moment, and she like, hold on a second, and she goes back to the room of the door, opens the door, goes upstairs, and she comes back down a few seconds later, and she holds out like a small device. Fits in the palm of your hand. It's got like a little speaker on it, and like one or two buttons, maybe a like a dial, like a knob on it. And she says, I would use this to communicate with him if we were split up. Would this help? I haven't been able to reach him in some time.
I'll reach out for it.
Okay. You reach out for it. Touch the thing. Are you trying to make your connection?
Is this a close enough personal object to try?
I'm gonna say yes.
Hey, I will indeed try.
All right.
I'm still taking his little black cloak.
Okay.
Kind of like his backup measure, because I can possibly sniff him out.
All right. I like that.
All right, here we go. Damn.
Yeah. Fortunately, no connection here.
Can you not use an influence point for
Nope,
that?
not with special rolls.
Or else I would have used that with the machinery later too.
Okay, yeah, I definitely pull my hand back, looking a little disappointed.
Yeah, she's just kind of like squinting at you. Like, what was that?
You could like try using it to communicate with them. Obviously, since they're apart, he should have taken his communicator as well. See if you can get a signal out of it, at least.
I mean, she's already said that she couldn't get a hold of him at all.
That's fair.
She says, no, you're welcome to take it if it'll help you find him. Maybe he's just gone too far.
That's a good point.
Yeah, yeah, I'll go ahead and take it for the moment.
Out of character. We should totally ask the dudes at the trash pile if they've seen this guy.
Yeah.
Cassidy is going to locate them and go, may I speak with the children? Ask them a couple questions.
Yeah, she nods.
She's gonna go over to the entrance and be like, call down to him, hey, is it okay if I come talk to you real quick?
Yeah, you hear the little girl say, yeah, I guess that's okay.
She's gonna climb down. Like, she's trying not to do it, like, enough to, like, she's not, like, stomping her feet, like, the kind that'll scare the kids, but enough that they can, like, listen to her approach kind of thing.
Yeah.
She's not, like, trying to be sneaky and sneak up on them or anything.
Yeah. You climb down into, like, a small, kind of cramped, well, fairly barren storage room. But it's cramped with, like, containers and stuff like that. And the kids are, like, tucked back behind, like, a waist level container in the corner where there's like a small little open space, probably about, I don't know, 10 square feet. And they're sitting there on the floor. They're like sitting down on the floor. Their legs are outstretched in front of them, and their feet are like touching each other's feet. And like in between their feet, they've got the little toys playing. And the toys are marching toward each other, and like
fighting them.
Yeah, you get that. You get that weird sort of like that weird memory of the gladiator arena, like
A deja vu feeling.
yeah, kind of ringing in your head. And they're just kind of like giggling and playing along. Like the devices aren't hurting each other or anything. Like they're not damaging each other.
Right, but it's the dumb little fight thing that you would do with any toy that kind of moved. It'd be like, yeah, who knocks the other one over first?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Totally. Yeah. So what do you say to him?
She's gonna sit down near him, but it's like she's still gonna have plenty of space between her and the kids, and she's gonna be like, hey, so I heard something's been stealing your mushrooms.
Yeah, the one whose face is like totally covered says, clearly a boy when he speaks up. He says, yeah, half ton of blue fungi doesn't just vanish.
Did you guys maybe see something? Maybe hear something when it happened?
Let's see if they did. Here's the boys' roll. Let's see if the girl did. Oh. And they
Dang.
Shit.
They shake their head. They both shake their head.
You
No.
know how...
Mom tells us
Spend
to
an
stay.
influence point to make the boy re-roll.
Alright.
Roll that one.
Yeah.
Alright.
Or all of them, I guess.
Yeah, I can reroll all of them. You just gotta get 1-4. Nope. They really don't want to know, I guess.
One more.
Alright. Hey, there you go.
There you go.
Okay, so this is just for flavor. So there's that where they say they both shake their head no, and then the boy says, "Well, I didn't see it, but I heard a strange noise. And when I came into the storage room," he kind of like tilts his head back and kind of like sniffs the air. He says, "I don't know, it smelled kind of like Zaya."
Zaya.
That's the woman's daughter that's missing.
Yeah, the daughter.
It's the oldest. Yeah, the oldest kid that's missing.
Yeah, okay. So yeah,
How
the
how long ago
asapu
did this
definitely
happen?
robbed him of the food.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but Dad was in there. Like, I don't understand how it would go missing if Dad was there.
Hmm.
How long ago did this happen?
He like pauses. This was, I don't know, 3 lapses, 4 lapses, something like that.
Dad could be working with the asapu to make sure they stay fed.
There's the way I see it. There's 2
Or he
possibilities.
could be
One,
too.
he's 1, 2. 2, he knows his daughter is 1, and even though she's not all there, he can't watch her starve.
Right.
But that's a lot of freaking food for one asapu.
Well, yeah, he's probably keeping the colony of them fed.
Technically, there's 3 possibilities, but I'm not going to mention the third one until. Anyways,
This whole conversation is not occurring in character.
Yeah, you guys.
no, but I mean, even like out of character, I'm not really going to mention it until I have like reason to mention it, because otherwise I'd be giving the DM ideas.
Fair enough.
You guys can ask Dina, that's the mom, Dina. You can ask her questions about the comings and goings of Dweed if you want. That's another thing you guys can do if you want to like try to get an idea for their routine or like kind of what they do. You can definitely do that. That's another thing you can try. Or you can like ask the kids. Those kind of questions.
That's what I was trying to do in like a way that wouldn't give them nightmares.
Yeah.
She's going to thank them and then get up and head back.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know that we need anything else about that in particular. I'd be more interested to like see like where, they keep the stuff, like where the asapu must have been coming and going.
Yeah, that way we could try to like track the footprints to a location. Or
Yeah.
Yeah,
you guys want to try to make some kind of investigatory check, perception-y check?
Yes.
Perception-y doodle?
Yeah, like you did at the other farm?
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see a roll. Success.
Oh,
Alright.
A lot of 3s.
Um,
all 3s and 1 4. Jesus.
Jeez.
Yeah. Couple things here. Okay. So yeah, you're in between talking. Like I think Cassidy, when you come back up, you hear Dina saying something to the rest of the group, and she's like at the end of what she's saying, and she says, "I just hope Dweed's okay. He's been having sleeping issues. It started during the lapses before he left. Probably because we ran out of Kraj about half a cycle ago." And Dank, you just like start looking around. You just like, "I'll be right back." You like start looking outside or something.
Pretty much, I'd let the group know that I'm gonna go investigate.
Yeah. So you start checking around the area, and you find like a part of the outside structure that's been like pried open. It seems to like lead into underneath the structure. Like it makes sense that it could lead to like a vent or something that could give access to the storage room. let's see here. You find a trail of fallen bulbs from the fungus. It veers back towards the main hallway. And you got a success. You're also able to tell, like you see footprints again. You see the same familiar footprints. This time, you also see a set of boot tracks alongside them. And you can tell from checking this out that there was more than one person carrying the fungus. Like there's some that seems to be dropped alongside the boot tracks, and there's also some that seems to be dropped alongside the bear footprints.
I think I would call the mom out and ask if she recognizes that boot tread.
Let's see if she does. Major failure.
Influence point to reroll.
Point.
All right.
Everybody wants her to remember.
It's not a major failure.
Another one.
All right. You guys gotta be
We
running
need
out of
to
influence
know.
points at some point.
I still have like 6.
I've got
No.
5.
All right, success.
We've been hoarding.
Thank God, I have 1 left.
She says, looks like it could be Dweeds, maybe. It's about the same size. Tread looks like a match.
I point out like the drop bulbs of the mushrooms and the other footprints next to it. Looks like he carried off a lot of your stuff here. Any idea why he'd be doing that?
She kind of furrows her brow and she shakes her head. Dweed knows how serious making our payments is. If he carried it off somewhere, he must have had a good reason. Maybe he was storing it somewhere else to keep it safe.
Little boy said that he didn't see anything, but it smelled like your oldest the night that he got robbed.
It was only 3 lapses ago. You said she'd been missing for a cycle.
Yeah, the lady nods.
Yeah. Do those look like her footprints, perhaps?
Who's the ladies?
No, the daughters.
Yeah, they look like
Yeah,
the
he's
daughters.
asking. Yeah, he's
I'm
asking the
asking
lady
her.
if
Oh.
those. Yeah.
Oh, okay, you're asking the lady. I'll let her last roll stand. She nods. Yeah. Just doesn't.
All
It
right.
doesn't make. She wouldn't be walking around here without boots unless.
Asapu don't wear clothes, do they?
He likely was already affected.
She kind of grimly like nods. Look, if Dweed would have told me what was going on, wouldn't he? Why would
You would think so.
It's not always easy to tell people this sort of news, and he may be still holding out some hope that perhaps there's something that he can do. And so he didn't want to, terrify you before absolutely needing to.
Yeah, she nods. She says, she nods, and then she kind of like covers her eyes with her hands, like to try to wipe away more tears, and then she starts like shaking her head side to side, and she says, "It sounds like Dweed, always trying to protect me. I told him I don't need protecting."
I know it's not too heavily studied, but does anybody know how long it takes for an asapu to go through its cycle?
I don't think
She's
she
like
would.
kind of.
That wouldn't be common knowledge.
She's like kind of glancing toward, giving Naela a side eye, trying to see if maybe she knows.
I mean, maybe. Do you want to see if you know, Naela?
Yeah, I want to see if I know. Let me see.
Don't forget to use your new skill.
You can write another memory too, as an asapu.
I have the memory of the asapu. It's just labeled as zoology knowledge, and I have a
Well, yeah.
+3 in that. So
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
woo.
All right.
There you
Yay.
go.
So you we see you close your eyes and you retreat back into your mind. You're poring over the memories that you can remember of being an asapu. I think each time you're looking at getting close to the metamorphosis stage, it starts to go dark, almost like it becomes something else. But what you can tell is that the time it takes varies based on condition of the host, health of the host, and the asapu typically tries to keep them alive and healthy. They actually don't want to kill their hosts. They almost have develop a certain relationship or kinship with them. At the very least, probably several cycles. We're talking at least 3 to 7 cycles. But it can go on for much longer than that. It can go on for, hundreds of cycles potentially.
Yeah, but that involves practically criminal neglect on her only daughter that is still not there, but
Yeah. So she would relay that out loud.
Okay. Yeah, so of course the lady is distraught. Now she's thinking about the idea that her daughter could be stuck suffering like this for a long time. And she's definitely concerned.
Well, it's not necessarily a painful process for the host.
I mean,
it's not
I
necessarily
don't
painful,
think that
but
really
it's
helps her.
yeah, it probably more feels like it's just in a fog the whole time, and I don't know, how
Back on the
I don't know how helpful that
hand,
is.
though. Is there anything of import in the direction that these footprints and boot tracks are heading that you know of? Any places that he might have liked to go in this direction?
Or any places you were never supposed to go in this direction.
Oh, that's a good one.
There's an old service hatch. We typically stay away from it because tight spaces, weird things down here in the dark just didn't seem like a risk worth taking. But we had considered exploring it to see if it was an alternate route. Maybe one that leads back towards Point Mariah, perhaps. A way that we thought was blocked, maybe even back towards Nataku.
Significant look towards the others, and maybe towards the right path not said aloud.
Yeah.
Tight spaces, that's probably where the asapu got him in the first place. Well, got her.
Dance.
I think we need helmets. Really good helmets.
Yes, please?
Yeah, I don't think they have any.
All right, so
Let's be honest, if they did, they'd be using them.
You guys you ask her for helmets, she gives you a look like she's you guys should have helmets. You're Arku. Where's all your tech?
No, I wasn't saying that we need
Yeah,
them
I
from
know,
her.
I
I'm
know,
saying we
I
need
know.
to go back to base and see about getting some heavy duty helmets.
Could we bring back the half-ton? Oh no, wait, she is not going to give that to us until we find him. Never mind.
Give me 1 second here, guys. I'll be right back. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. I mean, potentially.
Wait, everybody plug yourself.
Hey, follow my Twitch.
Buy me beverages. No one has bought me a beverage. I'm very sad.
Oh,
I'm 1 memory away from severance.
nice.
I
I
have
only need
0
one more
memory points
memory.
now.
I only need one more memory for my handgun, and then I can look for the next object.
0 memory points.
I
Oh,
still have like how many do I have? I
I have
Insert
have
like
rocket launcher.
4
Well,
memory points.
I went from having an almost full thing last session to only having 2.
I had 6. If I hadn't done the revelation, I would not have had enough to try for the link with that communicator.
I had 12.
I thought you could only have 10 maximum.
No. Like the thing goes up to 1, 2, 3.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
5,
Back.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It goes up to 12. I had a full thing.
Oh, okay.
What did I miss?
Oh, we were just plugging all of our social medias.
It's fine. You guys are welcome to do that anytime. Yeah, if there's stuff that you want to plug that I'm not already plugging, send me a message and be like, plug this thing for me.
Ah, it was mostly a joke.
Okay.
We were just all bemoaning how little memory points we have now.
Yeah.
How close I am to a fucking severance.
Woo!
How close we all are to being asapu.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Okay. So yeah, you find the trail of fungus leads back towards that sort of main hallway that you came into. She described like a service hatch that's over that way that leads down to a different area they haven't really explored. You've gotten his jacket. You've gotten a communicator device.
We should totally mention the weird door with the lens thing. See if she knows anything about that.
She kind of pauses for a moment. Lens thing.
Yeah, it performed like a body scan on all of us. Wouldn't open that.
She says, "That sounds like Inky to me."
Oh shit. Oh
Oh
shit.
my god.
Great.
She says, "I wouldn't trust it. If it's Inky tech, it could be dangerous. They come down here to hunt vagabonds, other things."
Oh,
He
fuck.
probably hit that other farm.
What if it scanned us and they know we're vagabonds now?
Shit.
I didn't say that out loud.
Mm.
Before you even opened your mouth, she would have smacked the fuck out of you.
No, I did not say that out loud. That was to you guys, not to the characters.
Yeah. Like, what if you were at like the front door of their base, like their secret base, and they're just like watching you guys, and you're like, "Oh,
Watching us scan!
scan."
And we
These people are
tried to
fucking
guard
morons.
it.
Yeah, there's a screen behind the door that like pops up vagabond every time we like get scanned.
They're like, "Should we kill these guys now?" Nah,
No.
they're dumb. They'll probably just do it for us.
Yeah, they're too stupid to bother.
Though I probably did interest them whenever I was talking.
Yeah, totally.
They're coming for you first. The fuck?
Yeah, they're gonna steal your vocal
There's
cords.
a lot of interesting
Right.
things about vagabonds that they like to learn. So
They're gonna poke around in your brain meat.
Rain meat.
No.
Maybe they'll connect to those little prongs sticking out the back of your neck.
Not acceptable. Don't put a pin in that too.
No, don't put a pin in that. I will have no pins in the backs of my neck.
They'll fiddle the holes. Your holes.
So
No.
we know where this service hatch is essentially.
yeah, she can basically like lead you to it,
Okay.
or at least like tell you where it is, whatever you guys prefer. But she wants to stay here to watch her kids.
Yeah, let her
Oh,
stay
yeah,
there with the
mostly-
kids.
yeah.
Have her just draw us like a map or something, or add it to one of the maps that we have.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we're gonna go there right now.
No, we're gonna. One, we should try to convince her to part with half of the thing up front, because like we might die trying to go find her husband.
Nah. We're not
Okay,
gonna
but if
die.
we die,
I
she's
would-
gonna need that more than the other settlements. So I think honestly, it should stay with her at the
Okay,
moment.
if the tax doesn't get collected, do you know what the Arku are going to do to these people?
It can't
At
be
least
any
if
worse than
we-
what is happening right now, my dude.
Well,
I
at least
You
mean-
if
want
we
to
can
know
have,
what they'll do to
it shows that
us?
they're
We'll be
tried.
dead.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we're dead, then it's not really our problem anymore. But man, that's a shitty outlook to have.
But if we
I'm
can
just
at least
saying, we
prove
don't
that-
necessarily need to have it right now.
So here's the thing: service hatch, large leapers that you use to carry your heavy.
It won't fit.
Yeah, that too.
So you're probably gonna have to leave them here while you go explore whatever's down that service hatch. It could open up into a larger area, but
I want helmets before I go in that dang hatch.
Yeah, that's what I was going on about.
I say
We're
call
going
today
back.
a wash. Go back to Shalim. Let them know what's going on.
Yeah,
Get helmets, and then go in the creepy hatch of horrible brain roaches from Space Australia.
I say if we're going to Shalim,
if the episode's name is not Brain Roaches
us.
from Space Australia.
I mean,
Because at least if we get some of it, it shows that they're still willing to work with us in good faith, and maybe even though the Arku will probably be pissed that they didn't get all of their stuff, it'll show that we were at least able to get something with the promise of getting the rest later.
Wait, are the Arku like tight with the Yankee Covenant though?
No.
Okay, so
No.
we could more than likely
it
point out,
depends.
hey, look, there's the freaking Yankee thing here.
It-
There's a bunch of missing shit. I think they stole the Arku's tax money.
It
That
really,
is a big brain.
it really
Just
depends.
in it.
There are some cities that have like inky detachments in them. It's complicated, the relationship they have.
Yeah,
with
who
the
knows if this isn't an Arku-funded Inky research base?
Well, Shalim might know because he's like their envoy here.
Yeah.
Oh, you think they tell him that?
well,
he might have some inkling about it.
he was at one time, right? Like he was with the Arku, right? But then the expedition failed. Everyone down here was kind of left to abandoned to starve. They still need the Arku trade to like keep whatever they can going, and Shalim is just sort of trying to do what he can to keep these people alive right now. He's sort of like
Right.
serving as the go-between. But I mean, if you want information about the Arku, he's a good guy to go to. He's gonna know stuff.
Sure.
You know, that being said, like proper like Arku grade military equipment, even just armor and stuff like that, it's gonna be like near impossible to come by, unless you can take down some Arku soldiers.
I just need some metal that I can put around my head to
Yeah,
keep
you
it from being.
We just need a tinfoil hat.
You could totally
Some
do
pretty
that.
strong tinfoil.
I'm just saying, like I don't.
Now
think-
that I have
I don't think that's
tools, if
really gonna
y'all
help
can
you.
give me the time.
It's just that's all I'm saying. Like it might be
You think the
comforting.
asapu would go like straight through the metal into our brain meats?
I mean,
I think
assuming
it's more they tap into your spinal column
assuming that's
and
how
then
it
would
works.
make you take it off.
Okay, so we just need like
We would need something that would protect our spines as well.
metal plating that we could put like on our backs, necks, and brainstem areas.
It's just like
But like I said, if y'all can give
God.
Cassidy some time, she can build them.
Time is the
We
one
don't
thing we're
have
short
time.
of.
Yeah.
Build a flamethrower. There we go. Close quarters, bugs, just torch them.
yeah, it's basically been a lapse already. You've got
Yeah.
I mean,
you've got
I have a lighter.
We've got the powder stuff. We
Yeah.
just need.
You are not using my blowtorch.
Well, I mean,
But mom,
I mean, if
flamethrower.
you're gonna, I mean, it's gonna take a lot.
It'll be so cool.
It's gonna take a lot of sea key powder or whatever, but yeah, I mean, if you want to use like all the fuel you have left, you could probably rig some kind of weapon.
That sounds like a bad idea. I don't know.
That sounds like a horrible idea. Yeah, we're not doing that. It's funny, but we're not doing that.
Alright, so helmets aren't going to help. We don't have enough time for armor. Screw it. Let's go in the thing. If we die, we die.
We crawl into the hole.
so,
We
Alright.
crawl into the abyss.
So you see you guys like standing at the top of this service hatch, like looking down at this like small little cramped space that you're gonna have to crawl into, almost like crawling into like a vent shaft. You're all like looking around each other nervously, like we're all about.
Oh yeah, this is gonna suck.
We're all about to crawl into this deep dark hole, and I think that's where we fade out with you guys. The audience gets like a end scene or whatever, if you will. We fade in on darkness, and we see a man laying on the floor, on his back. His eyes are closed. There's a pool of blood underneath him. He's wearing like dark silks, trousers, boots, like travel gear, maybe like a bladed weapon or improvised weapon or two, and like a satchel, also made of like some kind of dark silk. He's just laying there motionless, and then there's like he coughs at it, like it looks like he's dead, right? And then he like coughs, he spits up blood on himself, and then he looks up. He like leans his head up, strains, leans his head up to look in the darkness, and we see his vision blurry as it slowly comes into focus, and there's just like dozens of eyes, glowing eyes, staring back at him in the darkness. And as the vision becomes more clear, we see like naked people. And we don't see like any of the, there's shadows where there should be. And they're just all like staring at him in this small little like cramped open vault room. One of them starts to move toward him slowly. The feminine one that we've seen before, outstretching her hands, making some chittering noises. He reaches to his side and he puts one hand on a wound that's clearly bleeding pretty badly, and he reaches his other hand into his satchel, and he pulls out a device that fits in his palm, and he pushes a button on it, and we see like a light come on, and he says, Dina, I'm sorry. And then he lets go of the button, and you just hear static. Dina, can you hear me? And he like passes out. And then that's the end of the session today. Good job, everybody. You guys did good.
Don't like it.
I don't know if I can save his life. Probably not.
Depending on how long it takes to find him, he's gonna be dead by the time we find him.
All right, she didn't say we needed to bring him back alive. She just said we needed to bring him back in the coat.
She probably
Oh,
like
Fair.
so I have this written down. I mean, I didn't mention it, but it says, as they leave, she directs a few last words their way. If you do not find him, do not bother coming back.
Didn't say dead or alive, just throwing that out there.
Yep.
So kind of
We
right.
just put him in the coat and do a weekend at Bernie's type thing.
Exactly.
God.
I'm all for conning people, but not like this.
Not the kids, man. Not the kids. Because the kids would have to see that.
if y'all try to do that in character, Cassidy would slap the shit out of y'all.
No. Y'all are getting slapped with a stick, okay?
I will grab the oar.
Mayor?
The one that I gave you?
Mayor?
It was on her boat.
That's
Yeah.
fair. You know, we're obviously not actually going to do that. I might
Weekends
have
at Bernie style.
questionable morals.
Hilarious, though.
Questionable. But man, that's just straight fucked up. I'm not gonna do that for real.
Space Gerblin says, just say no to the weekend at Bernie's idea. Thank you, Space Gerblin. All right. Well, everyone take your memory point, and I'm going to give you guys 2 influence points for the end of the session today. again, because you guys burned through a lot of them today. Yeah, and some of them you're burning on silly things. That's fine. They're your points. You can decide how to use them.
Was it silly? It was great.
What's a little trauma? The kids will be fine. That's right. That's right.
It's Nibiru. Everything is awful. They're used to it.
You really are, though. That's the problem.
Then I get an extra 3 for having the memory point for having the machine-based memory.
Yeah. A lot of you guys used your beacon stuff today, so you get extra points.
Tried.
Oh,
Done in
I
front
didn't
of our
You
nice
tried, yeah.
trophy
You tried. I know.
I got nothing.
Poor Derrin just can't get his to work, man.
So if our special rolls don't work, we don't get memory points for it, right?
I think you do. I don't.
Yeah, his is kind of specific. Like, just check the wording. Maybe you still do. I don't know, Derrin.
I'm pretty sure everybody else but me does. I definitely don't.
I haven't got a beacon yet.
Oh,
Mine
man.
doesn't specify that I get memory points.
Well,
No, I thought you were supposed to get influence.
Let me check yours.
I get both.
You always get
Oh.
you always get like one, I think, when you follow your beacon. Let me just take a look at the machine here.
I get memory points for the first and last transmission. Oh, the Lost Tongue is a special roll, so no, I don't get anything for that, do I?
Oh, okay. Maybe.
Well, yeah, it would be the beacon. The Lost Tongue is a different thing. So, yeah. So
Okay.
the beacon section is
Yeah.
what we're looking at here.
That was my first and last transmission, which I got 3 for.
Yeah. Right, +1 memory.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So you get those points. It's a little bit different for everybody.
Yeah.
And Zack, is there something I need to do to help you with your beacon that I'm just not doing?
No, it's just really specific.
Yeah, his is a slow burn.
I'll take a look at it between sessions and
But
see if I can't.
Isn't
help you out.
Xanadu still technically beta?
I think it is. I might have actually just
'Cause I
recently
can't-
released.
I thought
I
we
went to
said
find
it
it in the
recently
shop
I
released.
thought it did.
yesterday.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I
What'd you
find
say?
it in a shop yesterday and it's not there.
Oh, I got it because I asked Federico. I was like, "How can I go ahead and get this ahead of time?" And Federico sent me a link where I was able to pick it up ahead of time. But I thought I got an email from them that was like, "Yeah, it's done." Let me check my emails. New message. Xanadu.
Yeah, anyways, I think the rest of this is housekeeping stuff. Anybody that has to go.
Yeah, if you got to take off, go ahead and take off. Thank you guys for playing. You've been awesome. You guys did a great job today. Fantastic. Love you all. Have a great week. I'll go ahead and we can go ahead and sign off from the stream, and I'll take a look at this after. That's fine. So, a couple things. Thanks for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, check us out on twitch.tv/RamblingManTV. If you're watching on Twitch, check us out on YouTube, RamblingManTV. This is a great game, Nibiru TTRPG. Araukana Media, they let us do a little giveaway, which our last giveaway was last week. But if you want to pick it up for yourself, check out their website, araukana.com. That's ARAUKANA, and check them out on Twitter at Araukana1. You can also, let's see, find me on Twitter, on Minds, on TikTok, on Instagram, all that stuff. Ramblin TV everywhere. You can find the art for Cassidy Williams, tiktok.com/iota Kuhime.
Iotakuhime.
Iotakuhime! Damn it! I
Do
did
this
it again!
every time. Every time.
I can't fix it.
Right.
Damn it! I keep messing it up. So
I'm gonna
I
have
either
to
mess
start
up
open.
Iotaku Hime. I either mess up the Iotaku or I mess up the Hime part every time. Yeah. I
Space
know.
Gerblin's got your.
I'm terrible. But
I'm gonna have to start doing a name jar for you.
here's
Instead of a
but
swear
I
jar.
tell you what, it makes people pay attention to what I'm saying. So there's the
Yeah.
link to the TikTok there. Also Zack here has a Twitch channel. If you want to check him out on Twitch, here is his Twitch stream. Twitch.tv.
He was just streaming recently.
TeamZack.
A couple days ago.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was streaming recently. And Dank, our Paladin of the Beverage, has a GoFundMe if you want to send him Nos and other beverages. Nos is his favorite. You can go check out his GoFundMe there. I think that is all the shout outs. I hope. I
think
hope I
so.
didn't miss anything.
I think so. Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys all for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow on Twitch, on whatever, all the things. Other than that, have a great night, and a great week, and don't let the crickets get into your brain and stuff, because that's bad.
That's nice to go to bed to.
Take care.
Don't
guys.
let the asapu bite.
God, why?
Have a great week, folks.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.